step into the day with the dawn ringing in my ears. Oh, well, I tune to my TV show. No better way, I gotta get myself into gear. Let's go. Oh, and I feel good today with my wake up in the morning Expresso. I feel good today. It's my feel good breakfast show.
Good morning.
Welcome to it. Yeah, where's that whoop? Give me a whoop whoop. There we go. There we go. Let me be the first to say, please keep quiet, Raul. This morning, please keep quiet in that corner of the room. Good morning. We love you. It's a Monday. It ain't no Blue Monday this morning. It's a family day. And we hope all of you had the most wonderful Easter, that you were surrounded by your family and you lost count. You were swimming through seas of Easter eggs and there were hot cross buns just flowing.
And pickled fish.
And pickled fish, as one does down here in the mother city. But beautiful Easter. How was your Easter weekend?
Easter weekend was very relaxed. I wasn't able to be with my family, and I know today is family day, but you know what? We had virtual calls and it was very sweet and special in a very unique way.
Oh, man, no, definitely surrounded by family. Absolutely love that. So hopefully you guys get that today. That's our wish for you. But we, of course, have you in our kind of family circle for the first couple of hours of the day, and we're going to savor every second of it. We've got Asher Dullab delving into the relationships we have with our parents and our siblings. Should be really interesting. Quite dynamic.
Very dynamic. And I mean, this is a time of the year where we do spend a lot of time with our family around the Easter holiday. And also to entertain us this morning, we are joined by gospel singer and songwriter Isishle Siwela, and she's going to be joining us today, of course, bringing that Monday feels and that gospel Monday that we want.
Yeah, man, we want to celebrate in style, and he's going to help us do that. But of course, very begrudgingly, I've got to say good morning to one guy. How is it? He looks like he's sitting 12 feet tall in that chair this morning. Very good morning, Jamie.
Oh, good morning. It's too early for the shade. I can feel it. Do you guys want to say something to
I don't want to say anything. It just feels good sitting up here high on the perch, you know, when you've got a team that just dominates a weekend and the rest of the competition falls behind.
Explain to me what's happening right now, because I could see it the moment I walked into the studio. There's a lot of tension here, everybody.
A lot of tension. Mzansi, we missed this weekend, of course. It was a beautiful weekend of sport. Premier League was back. Cookie Cooks is here, obviously, to update us on all the magic. But just as a little teaser, my team, the Reds, of course, we stepped up on the log quite a bit and we almost made it into that top four, while the rest of the teams in the competition kind of just had a bit of a dismal start to the Premier League. But we'll find out more about that in the show. We're talking about something even better. We're talking to you, Mzansi. We're talking on our social media channels this morning about how you bond with your family and make sure that it's a good time. Jamie, how do you do that?
So it's so funny we mentioned that, because obviously it was Easter and I got a lot of time to spend with my family this weekend, but we bond really over food. So that is something that keeps us all together, and we obviously had that time spent this weekend just bonding, having some good laughs. We played some 30 seconds, some Uno. So for me, that is really all about family. Just so we can connect and laugh and have fun. What about you, Ralph?
For me, I'll just grab the family and say, hey, you guys want to go for a hike? You want to go to the ocean? Simple as that.
Oh, wow. There we go. Nature Boy, CPT, approved for all of that. But do let us know on our social media platforms, Expresso Morning Show, SABC3. It's a Monday. It's a brand new week. But right now, it's time to find out what's happening in and around the world.
Thank you, Jamie. I'll start with national news. Anglican Archbishop Thabo Makgoba says he is concerned about the government's slow COVID-19 vaccine rollout program, especially in poor and marginalized communities where corruption has left healthcare systems fragile. Makgoba was speaking during the Easter Vigil service in St. George's Cathedral in Cape Town. He said those who had left hospitals and clinics short of people, equipment and protection ought to be ashamed. Meanwhile, the Aspen manufacturing facility in Gqeberha will produce 30 million Johnson & Johnson vaccine doses for SA in April alone, rollout also starting this month. And South Africa's longest-running film festival, the Durban International Film Festival, has extended its deadline for the submissions of films. Filmmakers now have until April 15 to submit their feature films, documentaries and shorts. So far, the programming team has already received 2,500 films for review by filmmakers from around the world. Head of Programming, Chipo Zhao, will be supported by 10 film industry stalwarts who will watch and select films that will will receive a spot in the festival's 2021 lineup. The theme is Framing the Future Cinema Unleashed. And moving to news abroad, Niger has had its first democratic transfer of power after Mohamed Bazoum was sworn in as president this weekend. It comes just days after the government said it had thwarted an attempted coup by the parts of the military. The West African nation is facing increasing attacks by jihadist groups. The inauguration marks the first time one elected leader has handed power to another since independence in 1960. There was tight security in the capital ahead of the ceremony. And staying with news abroad, Pope Francis has urged countries in his Easter message to quicken distribution of COVID-19 vaccines, particularly to the world's poor, and called armed conflicts and military spending during pandemic scandalous. The coronavirus pandemic has meant this has been the second year in a row that Easter papal services have been attended by small gatherings at a secondary altar of St. Peter's Basilica instead of by crowds in the church of the square outside. He praised health workers and said everyone was called to combat the pandemic. And COVID-19 has prevented international tourists from visiting Cape Town in such large numbers as in previous years, but nothing, not even a pandemic, could keep one particular visitor away. Buffel, the southern elephant seal, has been visiting Cape Town beaches since 2016 in order to molt here on our coastline. This year, he decided to haul out of one of Cape Town's most picturesque beaches, Llandudno. Buffel was tagged by scientists years ago to be distinguished from other elephant seals which may pass by. These seals haul out each year to molt and must stay ashore for nearly a month, unable to enter the water to feed because of temporary sensitivity to temperature change. The closest colony of southern elephant seals is on Marion Island, 2,147 kilometers from Llandudno. They weigh some 4,000 kilograms and can dive to about 2,400 meters for up to 120 minutes. But this particular specimen, Buffel, was born in Cape Point, son to a lost mother who came ashore and now believes this is home. So welcome once again, Buffel. We're thrilled that Cape Town is your home and maybe see you regularly for many years to come. Well, on that note, that's where we leave your morning headlines. Here is a first look at your sport with Graham.
Thanks so much, Zoe. Well, as we've alluded to, lots of drama in the sporting roster this weekend. Let's start with cricket. An impressive team effort by the Proteas helped them to a 17-run victory over Pakistan to level the ODI series 1-1 at the Wanderers in Johannesburg yesterday. Quinton de Kock, Temba Bavuma, Rassie van der Dussen and David Miller all reaching half centuries to guide the South Africans to the win. Of course, on Friday, Pakistan beat the hosts by 3 wickets in a thriller in that first one-day international. The third and final ODI will take place on Wednesday, kick-starting at 10 a.m. Then round 1 of the 2021 Varsity Cup season taking place in a bio bubble at the Tuks Stadium saw wins for CUT and UP Tuks yesterday. CUT scoring 6 tries to record a 46-13 bonus point win over UJ, and Tukkies recording a 48-25 win over the Joburg-based Witsies. There'll be 3 Varsity Cup fixtures today as NWU Eagles. They'll face the Madibas at 3 p.m. and UWC take on UFS Shimlas at 5 p.m. Then UCT's Ikeys, they'll be up against Marties at 7 p.m. Real derby action there. Then staying with rugby, the Reds have remained unbeaten in the Australian domestic competition, stretching their lead at the top after thrashing the Rebels 44-19 in Melbourne on Saturday. Other Super Rugby AU results, defending champions the Brumbies just edged out the Waratahs 24-22 in a nail-biting encounter. Then in Super Rugby Aotearoa, the Blues recorded an impressive 27-17 victory over the Hurricanes. And the Highlanders got the shock of the weekend, beating reigning champions, the Crusaders, 33-12. Major upset there. Then we bring it back home for football. KwaZulu-Natal-based clubs Golden Arrows and Amazulu FC were the big winners. They moved within 3 points of table-topping Mamelodi Sundowns after this weekend's Premier Soccer League action. So Arrows and Swallows FC, they played out to a 1-1 draw at the Dobsonville Stadium. But Amazulu, they secured that narrow 1-0 victory over Black Leopards. Now, other PSL results out of the weekend, Maritzburg United claimed an emphatic 5-1 win over Chipper United, and Bloem Celtic, they beat TS Galaxy 2-1 as well. Then staying with football, defending English Premier League champions Liverpool finally look back to their best. They outclassed Mikel Arteta's Arsenal 3-0 at the Emirates Stadium on Saturday. A brace by Diogo Jota, who's also a star for Portugal, and a goal by Mohamed Salah, securing the vital win for the Reds. In the top of the table clash, Man City now only require 11 points from 7 matches to seal a third Premier League crown, and it looks like foregone conclusion. Now that'll be the 4th time that they do it, or in 4 seasons at least, and they beat Leicester City very convincingly 2-0. Now other Premier League results, Newcastle United and Tottenham Hotspur, they had to share the spoils, drawing 2-2. Man United beat Brighton 2-1, and West Bromwich, they probably got the upset of the weekend. They stunned Thomas Tuchel's Chelsea 5-2. And then finally on to motorsport, the flying Frenchman Fabio Quartararo, he won the 2nd race of the brand new MotoGP season in Doha ahead of fellow countryman and championship leader Johan Zarco. It was the 2nd race win for Yamaha in as many races after Maverick Vinales, of course, won the season opener last week. Pramac Racing Ducati, they also had 2 riders on the podium yesterday with Zarco and teammate Jorge Martin in 2nd and 3rd place. South Africa's Brad Binder had a strong performance. He finished in 8th in his Premier Class race, and that while his younger brother Darren Binder, of course, finished in 2nd place in the Moto3 race in Doha. But Coach Cookie is here to delve a little deeper into that 5-2. The fact that he showed up is quite impressive in itself. That'll be what we'll be doing in just a moment. Right now, though, he who shall not be mentioned this morning will take us through the weather.
Thank you so much, G. Now, starting off with the weather, I want to say a big thank you to all of you that have taken the time to share your sunrise pictures with us over the weekend. And kicking our week off, we have this image from Annalise Dix from Cape Town showing off this glowing skyline and silhouetted mountains in the distance. Now, Cape Town, you can expect mild and partly cloudy conditions with your maximum reaching 20 degrees Celsius. And now to top of the list of contributors, we've got Sabelo Bright Zamisa, who shared this gloriously golden image of the sun rising in his area. Now, please do continue to share your sunrise photos with us on the Expresso Facebook page, because we absolutely love to see how you start your day. And while we enjoy experiencing a sunrise from your part of South Africa, we do have some international viewers tuning on both YouTube and the Africa channel in the USA this morning. And we're reporting on the weather from Tampa Bay, Florida. Now, in the Tampa Bay region, it's most well known for its beautiful Gulf Coast beaches, world-class theme parks, 3 major sports teams, and hot, humid weather, which includes plenty of intense thunderstorms, which are daily thunderstorms, which are very, very common during this time of the season. Now, today you can expect a pleasantly sunny day, reaching a maximum of 26 degrees Celsius. Now, with some environmental news is that the state of emergency has been declared in Florida in the US after a leak from a large pond of toxic wastewater in Tampa Bay. Now, more than 300 homes in the area have been ordered to be evacuated, and a motorway near the Piney Point Reservoir has been closed off. Now, officials said the reservoir holds some 2.3 billion liters of water containing phosphorus and nitrogen from a derelict phosphate plant. Now, the pond where the leak was located is in a stack of phosphogypsum and radioactive waste product from the manufacture of fertilizer, which is resulting in the water containing small amounts of naturally occurring radium and uranium. Now, thousands of liters per minute are currently being pumped out of the reservoir to bring the volume of water down, while a path to control the flow of the water is also being charted. Now, by declaring a state of emergency, funds can be released for more pumps and cranes to be rushed to the area. Now, good luck in the situation all the way across the world, but now to take a finer look at our local weather, and we're starting off with Polokwane with a low of 14 and a high of 28. You can expect some sun and clouds with a 4% chance of rain. Mbumbela, a low of 17 and a high of 27 with a 9% chance. And then we got Pretoria, a low of 15 and a high of 27. And then moving over from Pretoria, we're making our way to Johannesburg with a low of 14 and a high of 27 with not much chance of rain expected there. Mahikeng, a low of 15 and a high of 31. Looks like a beautiful sunny day ahead, and much the same for Klerksdorp with a low of 16 and a high of 31. Also sunny conditions all the way around. Much the same for Kimberley with a similar low of 15 and a high of 32 with partial clouds coming through there. Bloemfontein, a sunny one too with a low of 11 and a high of 29. Richards Bay, you can expect a low of 18 and a high of 27 degrees. Pietermaritzburg, a low of 16 and a high of 26 degrees with some slight chance of some clouds coming in at 19%. Durban, we're starting off with a nice high of 20, moving all the way through to a high of 27 degrees. And Mthatha starting off with a low of 14 and a high of 26. Now moving all the way over to East London, a little bit of rain expected with 74% chance. We're starting off with a low temperature of 17 degrees, only moving all the way up to 21 degrees. So a slightly colder day in East London. Cradock is starting at 13 with a high all the way up to 28 degrees. Ubeja starting at a low of 15 and a high of 20 with some expected rain at 54%. George, a low of 13 and a high of 19 with some rain coming through as much as 58% there. Then we've got Cape Town starting with a low of 15, a high of 20 degrees. Worcester, a low of 12 and a high of 26. Sutherland, as always, not too sunny there. Well, not too warm, but definitely sunny, starting off with a low of 10 and a high of 23. And last but not least, we've got Uppington, a low of 16 and a high of 34. Now that solves and rounds up the weather this morning. Of course, we're moving our way over to the rest of the magic on the show. And looks like G, Zoe and Jamie Lee have got something interesting on the cards. Let's find out what's happening.
Yes, indeed. We've obviously got some delicious family day meals planned for you today, and I can smell them coming from the kitchen already. But now, of course, that means that the table needs to be set. Table setting is about celebrating a meal with beautiful dining and glassware, and of course, a little bit of family smattered around, using your creativity and personal style, of course. So I challenged Jamie and Zoe to see who comes up with the best place setting, and we are taking you guys as our deciding vote this morning. So I want you to be very critical, hypercritical of the ladies this morning and take a look at their beautiful settings. Both of you have done a great job.
Thank you.
Maybe, Jamie, I'll start with you. Take me through your beautiful creation this morning.
So when you look at my creation, I want you to think clean and sophistication, because that's exactly what my place setting is here for this morning. So I started off with Mo's Crib, a Mo's Crib woven mat
like that,
as the base for everything. And then, like I said, I'm keeping everything clean and sophisticated. I pair that with a nice white bowl to break the color, just contrast it a bit. We have a bit of green, or I'm going to say taupe, sage green coming through in there. Again, balancing it off with a nice white bowl. And then to break everything off and still keep with the neutral colors, I have a nice little, I'm going to say green, minty green soup bowl as well. I paired that with a nice little towel in there. And this is what I came
I
up
like
with.
it. It's like grounded, it's earthy, it's lovely. But it's exactly what you say it is. It's clean and it's sophisticated.
What about you,
Why are you
Zoe?
laughing, Zoe?
Why are you laughing? Opposites, and I think
Yeah,
this
man.
is literally going to come down to personal preference.
It is very subjective. It is very subjective.
So I went for something a bit more masculine, keeping it minimalist and also modern. So I've started off with this black and grey theme running through crockery-wise, and then I've paired it with the sustainable wooden placemat. So as you can see, I've got the base plate, which is black along with my bowl, and it's accompanied by this speckled grey little side plate. And then just for a little bit of personality, I went with a grey soup bowl and a little white little towel. And really, it's like, I really like this minimalist, modern look on my crockery set.
You know what I would do? One, because it looks lovely. Yeah, I think they both look beautiful. I think you just put some. It just needs some food in the bowls.
Yeah.
But no, you both did a fantastic job. Well done. It's up to you guys. We've got two very different kinds of place settings here, very different styles and approaches. We want to know which one you prefer. So head on over to the Expresso Facebook page, vote for your favorite place setting, and we'll reveal the winning place setting a little bit later on the show. But ladies, well done. Give yourselves a round of applause. Beautiful. Very good job.
But it's fine, we can even start.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. A superb batting performance by the Proteas. Definitely back to their best, helping them to level the ODI series against Pakistan. 1-all varsity cup action returned with victories for CUT and Tikkies. And in international rugby, some major shocks and some really good football being played. Reds remaining unbeaten in the Australian domestic competition to sit at the top of the table. But the Highlanders stunning the Crusaders, and so much more happening in the world of sport. Video creator, rugby coach Kutle Sonkosi is back to tell us about how little he knows about sport, because I don't think you called one thing this weekend, man. No, we love it, dude. We love sport like this, where it's hotly contested. I'm almost happy we lost the first ODI against Pakistan because it set the scene for a brilliant, nail-biting season or series finale. Let's start with that first ODI. Baba, absolutely amazing. Pakistan captain led from the front, some of the silkiest skills you see. What did you make of that first ODI?
I thought, like you said, I thought Baba was almost the difference. I mean, he showed why he's one of the best ODI batsmen in the world. And I think we left a few, I thought we left a few runs short. I think it was definitely a 300 wicket. And then, listen, we almost pulled it back.
Yeah,
Nokia,
last ball, one run, come on.
Nokia came back with an amazing spell in the middle overs there. I mean, I don't know what the Pakistani batsmen did to him, but they seem to have made him really angry. Yeah. I mean, but like, yeah, listen, the first ODI, I thought we left a few runs short and Baba was special.
Yeah, just beautiful. They were drawing comparisons between him and Marco in terms of just the ease with which he plays and the lack of tension in his hands. Absolutely awesome. And luckily, Nokia was still angry in the second ODI. I don't know, like you said, for such a young man, so angry, so much anger. I have to qualify, we were chatting about this earlier, that when I say that the Proteas are in a rebuilding phase, it's not because they lack the players or the personnel or the talent in that team. They're not rebuilding the skill set in that squad. The strike bowling pair, to be able to have an Ngidi, to have a KG, to have Nokia as your third choice, to have you know, the ability to be able to rotate bowlers in that way, and then to have a batting lineup like that where your openers lay the foundation, then your number 3 comes in, scores almost 100 at a run of ball. Your number 4 comes in, scores at almost 200% strike rate. That second ODI, what a thriller.
No, it was amazing. I think you look at our bowling lineup, I think there's more balance now to it. I mean, like I said, you got Temba Bavuma at 3. You can either speed it up or you can play slow. I thought Rassie was fantastic again yesterday. I mean,
and a real coming of age, because he proved that he can stay in there for almost a match-winning, 120 odd in the first ODI. Then he came and scored a brilliant quick fire, smashed that 50 in 28 balls or something ridiculous. Absolutely amazing to see that balance. Let's talk about Fakar Zaman, 193. I never want to root for an opponent, but I was really hoping he would get that 200. I mean, to go beyond what Herschel Gibbs did in probably the most famous ODI in the history of the game outside of a World Cup, that was an amazing performance.
I think we were all rooting for him when we thought they were going to win.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh man, this guy's batting so well, got 100, and he gets about 150, and he gets about, the room gets quiet, he gets to about 180, you're like, okay, cool, now this is like, he's got to go out now, and then he gets about 193. I think if whoever they run out, he'd probably still be better. I mean, I thought that was a phenomenal performance by him. I thought that was unreal hitting. I mean, 18 fours, 10 sixes. I mean, like, but it's basically sad that we just a crowd to see it, because I mean, that's how good that knock was.
Oh man, in a different context, I think if Pakistan had won, that would have been one of the best innings that we've ever seen. Let's move to Varsity Cup action here. CUT 46-13 over UJ. Did you see that much of a winning margin? Sure.
Another game I got wrong this weekend. The Sieges,
and very wrong as well.
Yeah, very wrong. Listen, I thought the Sieges, they played very well.
Sure.
So they got an exciting side. I thought a lot of people wrote them off because I mean I think it's their first season back after being promoted. So they came back guns blazing.
They didn't play
especially
like that,
against the UJ side. I mean UJ is normally one of the powerhouses, and they're normally in the semis, normally in the finals. So yeah, I thought the CUT was unbelievable this weekend and played such good rugby.
Then the other score there, UP ticks 48-25 over Wits. You kind of called that one. Let's quickly move to Super Rugby Aotearoa. The Blues beating the Hurricanes. The Hurricanes almost their worst enemy. And Artie Severe, the fact that 2 yellow cards, I know he has to play the line. I know that that's the kind of, he's a disruptive player. He's got to be that guy. But how many times can you hurt your own team in that space? And that seems to be always what's holding them back. We'll leave that there because I need you to talk about the Highlanders beating the Crusaders. How did that happen? 17-33.
I mean, like, on Friday, I said, like, the only team that can beat the Crusaders is the Crusaders itself, and I think the Highlanders saw that. And I think someone showed them a clip of the show before, and the coach didn't say a speech. Just showed, like, look what this guy's saying about you in South Africa. They just turned it up a notch. I mean, I thought they were unbelievable. I think, listen, the Highlanders, they have the potential to pull up performance like that, because they are a young side with Aaron Smith there, but I still with Aaron Smith was leading the way, but they were just incredible. I think, listen, what a win for them.
One for the history books. And then the Waratahs coming close. You've got to feel for them. It has not been their best season. Just narrowly losing out to the Brumbies 22-24. And then the Rebels going down to the Reds. The Reds unbeaten. Surely they're in the pound seat to take this AU tournament.
Yeah, I think that they're in cruise mode now. I mean, obviously, they've got the home final, so hopefully now it's one of those things. You don't have the side that was unbeaten in the league format, and then you get to the final, and then you lose the game. But I also feel bad for the Waratahs. I mean, I think them and Chippy United are trying to figure out who can lose the most games this year, and they're doing well. But yeah, listen, the Reds, the cream of the crop in that competition.
5 minutes. We'll have to talk about the football a little bit later. 5-2 is something that I want you to remember. Stay tuned as we will be chatting about all things football with our favorite unofficial coach, Mr. Kutle Sonkosi, in just a moment.
Oh, you can make my day.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Happy Family Day. So earlier we asked you guys to choose between Jamie and Zoe's place setting. Well, you guys have voted and we are listening. Let's find out what you guys had to say about who our winner should be today. And it looks like a lot of people got involved. Clearly people are not at work today. So that makes a big difference. But who would have thought that we would have struck such a nerve with this? So Althea Groenewald saying black with grey. Since saying Jamie Lee Domberg, your setting is cool. My preference. Graham is right. All it needs is food. 100%, number one. Versia Chalker saying black with grey. Safa saying number one for me. Liesel saying white, blue, and green. It's pretty even, Stevens, at this stage. I think, Jamie, you might have just edged ahead. Let's see what the people are saying. So that's all we're going to take. We did see a lot of comments, some that we can't show you on national TV. No, people absolutely love the place settings. Both of you did a fantastic job. But our winner this morning is Jamie Lee Domberg.
Let us eat now. I think this is the time to eat because we have a beautiful place setting.
We will. I can smell the smells in this kitchen this morning are insane. It's going to be amazing. Thank you all for taking part in our poll, and congratulations to Jamie. Very, very well done this morning. But Zoe, you did a great job as well. And remember, you can shop all of these beautiful homeware items regardless of how you want to set your table. They're available in-store, online, or on the Woolies app. And the place settings are done, and the food is coming right up. Chef?
We are all ready.
You can get Woolies exceptional quality at low prices every day.
The plating and the decor does look divine indeed. Now, there's definitely something missing on there. And it's one of my love languages. It's food. It's good food, and we're talking burgers, which are the love language of almost everybody. Now, if you're someone who thinks of a chicken burger as secondary to the superstar beef burger, then, well, we're about to change your mind, because Woolies have a new chicken burger, and it's juicy, it's delicious, and it's absolutely loaded with all the yummy toppings that you need this morning. And here to show us how it's done, it's our no longer yummy bunny, just a delicious Clem.
There's still one more day?
Does it officially still Easter?
Yeah.
I'm going with Easter. It's Easter,
right.
so we're making Easter burgers.
Yeah. And I don't know what happened, but I woke up hungry this morning.
Oh, yeah?
So I'm glad we're not doing a little tiny pudding or a little tiny salad. We're doing burgers, because I believe you can have a burger for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. It's fine. Because you told me
You can,
that actually
technically.
is quite a nutrient-dense, like almost good for you little parcel, right?
100%. You got a good macro balance. So you got your protein, your carbs, and your fats, and of course beautiful flavor. And I see you've even got some extra bits and bobs on top of that. So you could technically get away with a breakfast as a burger, definitely.
Yes. Okay.
Nature Boy approves.
Here we go. Let's talk about these chicken burgers. They are so delicious. Chicken burgers normally have like a very fine texture, and then they kind of just like congeal into one puck.
Yeah.
Not these. These have got
Okay.
the coarse ground. You can actually look at it. You can see the coarse grounds of the chicken inside there. And it's
Got
chicken.
you,
It's
yeah.
chicken. It's chicken. We spoke about
none of
this
the
a little
other
earlier.
stuff that might
No
be
funny
added
stuff.
in there. I can
It's
trust Woolies.
chicken.
Okay,
Absolutely.
I like that. So I got to make a mention of that point there alone, because that is already the crux when it comes to a good patty, Clem.
Yeah.
I don't want that sort of like, almost like it's been punched like a cookie out of a piece of cardboard.
Exactly.
Kind of a chicken burger, and I'm already seeing the texture, which is
texture.
so important to me. Texture in meat is like 60% of the shindig, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like, it's all part and parcel of what makes meat that beautiful thing that us humans love and crave so much. So a massive box being ticked there already.
Big one. And it's
Yeah.
free range.
Oh, really?
And it's free range. And
Yes,
what they've done is then they go and add like a bit of extra seasoning to it. So a little bit of salt, but then seasoning in the sense of like sun-dried tomatoes in there, some basil, some
I
mozzarella.
feel like the guy at Woolies knows me personally. He knows I don't have the time to think about what seasoning to buy at the shop and then go and get the seasoning and put it in, and then is this the right amount?
Mr. Woolworths is always watching you.
Mr. Woolies has my back,
Yeah,
man.
he does.
He's making me look good this year. I'm not
Yes.
gonna lie.
Okay, this one has actually got the spinach, South African feta in there.
In the patty?
In the patty.
Oh, what?
In the patty.
No.
And that adds flavor, but also texture again. Okay,
Yes,
so I'm gonna let
please.
these two do its thing so long.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you if you can make a delicious dressing for me.
I can try.
You can. That's all I asked.
That's all I'm here
At least
for.
you're honest. You're like, you know what? I'm not going to say yes. You're going to say I'm going to try.
Sweet. So what do you
super
need from
simple.
me?
In our NutriBullet, we're going to go with some basil, mint, parsley, a little bit of olive oil, a little bit of lemon juice,
All right,
and a
all
little
right,
bit of
all right.
sour cream.
All right.
A little bit of salt.
Chuck that in there while
A
we're at
little
it.
bit of pepper.
Chuck it in there while we're at it.
Cool. You're gonna make a beautiful green goddess dressing for me.
Yes,
And that's gonna go
I
on our
am.
burger, and it's gonna go on our fries.
All right, and if you're like me and you don't have the 100% knowledge in your head on this recipe, then you can always go to woolies.com, of course. That's woolies.co.za, and you can find their recipe over there and this inspiration on our Burger Monday. We're extending Easter, so we're making it an Easter Burger Monday, right?
We are
Right.
absolutely.
That's
Absolutely. Okay.
woolies.co.za. Get the latest there, but if you are tuned in right now, then you don't have any excuse. You can just watch us. We got it going
Just watch
on.
us. Just watch us.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've got work to do, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm just staying
Your
away.
buns, always toast your buns.
How do you like your buns, Clem?
Toasted.
Yeah.
Toasted. Toast. It's a sign of love. If someone toasts your buns for you, it's a sign of love. Absolutely. Okay. Then we're gonna keep this one. We're gonna do this one a little tangy, a little creamy.
Okay.
Okay. I'm here with Woolies Lebna, which is a thickened yogurt.
Lebna.
It's so
Is that a
good.
cheese, a yogurt,
It's a yogurt.
dairy? Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
but it's been like slightly thickened. It's got a more tangier flavor. It
They
works
just
so
took
well in
good
recipe.
stuff and made it better.
As they do.
Mr. Woolies again.
As they do. Okay, no, that was Mrs. Woolies.
Oh, Mrs. Okay, all right.
Okay. We're gonna
Chef
do that.
Clem, quick question.
Go for it.
Am I adding this green stuff in here? What is
No,
this?
that's the final result.
Oh, is this when this
Because-
is what it's supposed to look like?
Yeah,
in
yeah,
case I get it
exactly.
wrong? I got you.
Okay, you doing your thing?
Yeah.
Then, Lebna down the bottom. I'm gonna hit it with one of our chicken patties. Let me check on my other chicken patties.
Smelling like they're ready, smelling like the kitchen is cooking. It's smelling like an Easter Monday. Yeah.
That's looking good, looking good. Oh, keep an eye on your patties. Keep an eye on your patties while they cook. Don't let them get too brown, okay? Don't do a cutaway to the pan right now as well. No, I said don't do a cutaway to the pan. Ah!
We're going deep on a Monday, Clem.
Okay, I like that. Okay, cool. Patty down, tomato. Also, whenever you build a sandwich or you build a burger, it's about the importance of the layers. So every time you add a layer, a little bit of seasoning. Okay, that goes in there.
I see you, I see you.
Beautiful cucumber ribbons go over the top. Right?
Because we don't just do normal cucumber
No,
as
we
well.
don't. We make it fancy. Then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna do a little bit more Lebna. That's gonna be the glue that's gonna help my feta stick to the inside. Yes, we're adding feta. It's gonna add a little bit of seasoning, a little bit of saltiness
It's
to
like
it.
food cement and food glue. but
Food
good
glue,
kind.
absolutely. The lemon golds. We don't use lemons anymore. We use lemon golds, okay?
So Clement use lemon golds, all
No,
right. I see you.
no endorsement deal. No endorsement deal. Lemon gold by the Clement Gold. No. Stop it, Raul. What are you doing?
You could just stand next to any food and give that smile and it looks like an endorsement. You can't even help yourself, man.
There we go. First burger done. What do you think?
I think it looks good.
The sauce is amazing.
Is this a sauce? Because I was about
That's
to
a
think
sauce.
this. It's like, smells like a power smoothie. It's so
You
good.
can if you want to. Okay, now I'm gonna ask you, but now I'm
Right.
gonna give you exactly 45 seconds.
Okay, 45 seconds.
seconds on the clock. You're gonna build a new burger for me. This is a Sandra. Why am I doing Carl's accent? Why am I going Australia?
This is a new burger.
Okay.
You're going to design this on a Monday.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm
45
ready.
seconds. I'm gonna talk you through it.
Okay, let's go.
And go. Do we hit it with a little bit of a green sauce?
A little bit of green sauce. Boom. Green sauce done.
Nice. Chicken patty.
Chicken patty
Okay,
done.
no, but you're fine. You can go. Little, it's fine. It's okay.
Like I'm in a
it's
pit stop at the F1. Let's go. Let's
Some
go.
sun-dried tomatoes.
Sun-dried tomatoes. Another
Just to
one
bring
there
out the
just for
sun-dried tomato
love.
flavor. Some
Right.
red onion.
Some red onion.
Okay, a little bit of fiordolata.
Fiordolata.
The mozzarella.
Okay, that thing, yes, that thing's coming.
You can kind of shred it.
Oh, wow.
You're doing an amazing job.
Okay, can I use my fingers for this?
You know, you
Have washed
must
my
use
hands,
your fingers.
right.
It's Italian.
Ooh,
you gotta
heck.
be Italian.
Must use the things.
Okay,
like
yes,
this,
yes.
Clem.
Yes. A little bit of that
Alright.
green sauce again. No, fine. Green sauce. Lettuce.
Green sauce. Lettuce. Boom.
Top one.
Boom. Bang.
Recipe is available at
Woolworths.
woolworths.co.za. Raul de Monet is available all day, by the way.
Here to serve.
Oh, yeah, they'll come. What did Jamie say?
What website am I available on?
Oh, at rauldemonet.co.za. But you gotta try these chicken burgers. They're absolutely delicious. A burger for breakfast because the Nature Boy said you can.
It's been approved, guys. You've earned it. It's been a long weekend, and there's nothing better than stuffing your belly with a burger full of all the good macros that you need.
Can I take a bite?
If you missed that, yeah, of course, Cleb. While you're taking a bite, you guys can check the recipe recap out. Yes, welcome back, you beautiful souls. It's Easter Monday.
It's a Monday, and it is all about family here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. And of course, we love chatting with our viewers. You are our family, as well as getting to see their part of the country through their sunrise pictures in our weather report. And this morning is, of course, no different as we touch base with Gordons Bay viewer Hannes Bosman this morning. Goeiemôre, Hannes, hoe gaan dit?
Goeiemôre, goed dankie en julle.
Ah, fantastic. So good to also have you in the studio. And again, I want to say thank you so much, Hannes, for taking the time to join us this morning and also sending in your beautiful pictures that kind of just warm our day up. Now, I believe you are quite lucky to have, we're quite lucky to have you with us this morning. But what is it like on your side of the world, man?
Gordons Bay is a stunning little village. It's beautiful. The sunsets and sunrises are just spectacular. It's the best part of the world, I promise you.
Oh, it looks so good.
We have FOMO just looking at your backdrop right now. But I believe you only have about 30 or 40 minutes to watch us in the morning. What are some of the features of the show that means you give us that valuable time of yours in the morning? 30 to 40 minutes is all you have to give us in the morning. So what is that highlight for you in the morning?
Well, firstly, the news, the entertainment, the breakfast shows is just absolutely spectacular. Your scene, your setup, I feel at home, I feel comfortable, I just relax and enjoy and get ready for work. Only an hour in the morning, but it makes my day.
Now, listen, man, you honestly, from what I've seen in the pictures that you've been taking, they are incredible. Absolutely beautiful stuff. Now, you have an incredible backdrop out in Gordons Bay. You've got that mountain behind you. You've got the ocean, crystal pools, to name a few. But what was it that inspired you and got you into this incredible photography skill that you've now clearly developed?
Well, first of all, I've been in photographic industry for about 10 years, 10, 12 years, and my love for photography developed there. So, yeah, I like to capture every moment, whether it's fun shots, sunsets, sunrises. It's just nice to take pictures and to capture it and keep the memories.
Like the millennials would say, that is Instagram worthy. So, Hannes, I'm going to ask you for some top tips in creating a sunrise picture like the ones that we've just been seeing on our screen right now.
Sorry, I didn't hear you there.
So some top tips to creating a perfect sunrise photo, because what we're seeing right now looks like something out of a magazine. It is Instagram worthy, and we just need to know how we can create something as beautiful as your pictures.
Well, first of all, the key about photography is to frame your pictures correctly. You need to have something of the foreground and the background. And if you do have a more professional camera, you can always under or overexpose by half a stop or one stop. And it gives you more like a silhouette feel, and it enriches the color of the images.
Wow. I think everybody in the studio, apologies for the silence, but our jaws just dropped as we were looking at all these incredible shots that you have. But honestly, we can't leave you without obviously finding out what it's like on your side of the world. And I can see a little bit of the background in Gordons Bay, but can you show us a view of what you get to wake up with every morning and how you're starting your day?
Absolutely. Let me just flip it around and then I'll show you there. There we go. So, that's the beautiful Gordons Bay Mountain.
Yes, we see the mountain there. Are you on the beach at the moment?
And then I'm on the beach.
Ooh,
what a way to start your day. Are you in the water,
There's a
Hannes?
beautiful sunrise coming over the mountain there.
Oh, wow. I can see the clouds just rolling over the mountain. It looks like it's going to be an absolutely incredible sunrise. And my man, Hannes Bosman, we can't thank you enough for providing this beautiful imagery. I think you've definitely encouraged us and incentivized us. I'm already putting on my hiking shoes and Speedo while watching this. You're getting my Monday all primed up, man. But Hannes, thank you so much for sharing this magic with us, brother.
Thank you very much for having me on your show.
All right, don't go anywhere. We need you to stay on the line. We've got a little surprise for you coming up in a little bit, so just please don't tune off.
Thank you.
We want to see this one.
Who doesn't love a beautiful sunrise picture? But what makes a beautiful sunrise even more spectacular?
Well,
A
Drum
cup
roll.
of coffee. A cup of amazing Nespresso coffee would make it even better, of course. And what if I told you that your sunrise picture can make you a winner? Well, this week we launch our hashtag Nespresso Sunrise competition, where you guys stand the chance of winning one of these fantastic Nespresso travel mugs. They are a game changer. I promise you, your coffee will stay warm for the entire day. So to kick things off, we have just chatted to one of our best, I think, sunrise contributors this morning. He's amazing, and he seems like just the coolest guy as well. Hannes from Gordons Bay. Hannes, are you still there, my friend, enjoying your terribly difficult life in Gordons Bay?
Yes, I'm still here.
Oh, you're making us jealous with your beautiful location, but you know what? The photos you keep sending through to us is absolutely beautiful.
Stunning, man.
And we wanted to let you know that today is your lucky day, Hannes, because we love your sunrise photos so much. We're giving you away this awesome, in fact, we are giving you this awesome Nespresso travel mug. So congratulations.
Yay, congratulations, Hannes.
Thank you so much.
Buddy, I hope you get to travel a little bit. Now I'm going to have visions of you kind of walking up and down the beach for the rest of the day, just taking photos. But the mug is awesome. You're an incredible. What are your plans for Family Day today?
Well, first of all, breakfast with my lovely, beautiful fiance, Liesel Goodyear, and then from there, I'll probably go and fish and see if I can get something for the pan or the braai later this afternoon.
Oh, get out, man. Just get out of here.
Perfect Monday.
Just get out of here, dude. Absolutely awesome to connect with you this morning. We love your contributions to our show as well, so thank you so much for that. Please keep those beautiful sunrise pictures coming and enjoy your new travel mug. It's on its way to you, but have a wonderful family day, my friend.
Awesome, thank you. Thank you so much, and you guys must have an awesome day.
Oh, thank you. That was Hannes from Gordons Bay, of course, one of our
life, eh?
regular
Tough
sunrise contributors. And it really is that simple. You stand the chance to win one of these oh-so-chic Nespresso travel mugs each week for the next 5 weeks. So simply just snap your best sunrise pic, post it to the competition post on Expresso's Facebook page, and don't forget that very important hashtag Nespresso Sunrise. But you better hurry up because the competition will be closing on the 21st of April. There are some T's and C's available, and those can be found on our website, expressoshow.com.
Hannes, cheers to you, buddy.
Cheers.
With every cup, we cultivate some of the finest coffee in the world, celebrating farmers as artists, elevating every coffee moment, because with every cup, precious coffee preserves the beauty of our world. Nespresso, what else?
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back as we talk sports and we talk a little bit of football. It's been a crazy weekend. The PSL and the Premier League in the UK, they really did offer up some amazing performances returning this weekend after the international break. Teams like Maritzburg United, West Bromwich Albion recording some pretty big wins over their opposition in their respective leagues. A man who I actually didn't expect to see here this morning, Coach Cookie, is now back with us. We're going to be talking a little bit of all things football. Now, let's start with the local football. You managed to get some right here. You managed to get a couple of these right. Well done. KZN football on the charge at the moment. A draw, but a draw that meant a lot for the two respective teams. I think Swallows, they were saved face Vuamere with that last gasp attempt there, kind of bringing them back into the game. 1-1 against Golden Arrows, but a really good result for both teams. They're knocking on the door now.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they're breathing down Sundowns' neck. So I mean, for them to get a, I think they both win because it's a game no one wanted to lose.
Yeah,
that was the big thing. So I think both sides are leaving there happy with the draw. But yeah, like I said, the last gap is equalizer. So yeah, I mean, frustrating for Golden Arrows, but listen, I think Swallows will be happy with that point.
Yeah, no, I think they'll feel like they did all right there. Maritzburg United 5-1 against Chipper.
Yeah, it's tough times for Chipper, you know. And well, Chipper lost 5-1, Chelsea lost 5-2.
Why are you even bringing that up, man? I wasn't even going to mention them today.
No, it hasn't been a good day, you know, because Cheese isn't playing, so Chipper's when Cheese isn't playing, I look at Chipper and yeah, I shouldn't have looked at Chipper this weekend.
I think Cape Town City will feel that they drop points against Baraka there with a 0-0 draw. Then Benny McCarthy, just Amazulu doing better and better. I mean, they could be contenders now. Can we start thinking about them as contenders for this league?
Yeah, I mean, imagine like Amazulu contenders for the league title is crazy. And listen, it's not easy. I know Black Labels are struggling, but it's not easy to beat them at home. I mean, and they've proven in
Nedbank Cup that they can get the big scalps, man.
And if you look at the game, it was quite close. Half-time was still 0-0. You're thinking, listen, Black Labels could steal something here. It's their home. But listen, like, that's what good sides do. I mean, they go away from home. Even if it's 1-0, it's all about getting the result, and they got the 3 points. So yeah, listen, great one for Benny.
Let's do it, dude. I've been skirting around it as much as I can. I'm so sorry, man. Let's talk about the Baggies. Thomas Tuchel, I mean, an unbelievable run in all competitions, staring down glory on the European stage in the top 4 positions. They're there for European football next season, and the Baggies did every other team basically in that chasing pack a massive favour. What on earth happened? I know you went a player down, but still, you should have it looked like there was no plan B or no idea of like what to do, okay, if you lose a player, but surely you've got to be prepared for that. Thiago Silva has never been sent off. I think it's been 8 years since he got his last red card. What happened, dude?
I mean, I still think on international break. I think
yeah, exactly.
He played the first game break. I think
was it friendly?
Half our players had just gotten back from the break, so like weren't playing properly. Obviously we're down to 10 men, but that's no excuse. I mean, we still put 5-2. It hurts, but I think that I should have known when waking up on Saturday that we were going to lose because all the big teams lost this week. Crusaders lost, obviously, in all the winners won. Liverpool got a win. I mean, so it's like, I kind of figured, I should have figured that this weekend wasn't one for the strong team. So
no, it was definitely one to turn over the betting cards, undoubtedly. Let's talk about Man City, Leicester. I expected a little bit more from Leicester. I didn't expect more from City because they're always producing amazing football, and they did it again. Just sublime at the moment.
I just think at the moment, like I said, I think they're pretty much the only consistent team in the Premier League at the moment. I mean, they just wake
up. The B team was great over the weekend.
Exactly.
They're back to their best. One of their star players, star signings this season, undoubtedly Diogo Jota, absolutely amazing for Portugal. Last week, absolutely amazing for Liverpool, a double there as well, and Mohamed Salah back on the score sheet. Arsenal, we thought this was the week that maybe Arteta could get one over. Yeah.
And now he's back and pretty much again comes back to scoring ways, and great win for them. I mean, still, they haven't played Anfield.
Harry Kane over the weekend. I was like, listen, the father-in-law will have a bit of a problem. If you guys beat Newcastle, so please just keep it as a draw. We'll take the point. But now it looks about 20 teams all drawn at 5th place on the log, so it's going to make that chase for those UEFA Champions League spots ever more interesting, buddy. I appreciate the fact that you rocked up this morning. After all of that, 5-2, insane. You can let us know how you're feeling after the weekend's footballing results. Hit us up on our Expresso Morning Show Facebook page.
Thank you, Graham. Well, let's start with your national headlines. As the country observes the first year anniversary since lockdown commenced, new vehicle sales have provided reason for the industry to celebrate. In March last year, the new vehicle market plummeted almost 30% compared to March 2019. But last month, 1 year later, 44,270 new vehicle sales were recorded, which represents a 31.8% increase in sales year on year. year and an 18.4% increase over February this year. Passenger car sales were up 23.4% and light commercial vehicles a staggering 52.4%. And staying with local news, Anglican Archbishop Thabo Makgoba says he is concerned about the government's slow COVID-19 vaccine rollout program, especially in poor and marginalized communities, where corruption has left healthcare systems fragile. Makgoba was speaking during the Easter Vigil service in St. George's Cathedral, Cape Town. He said those who had left hospitals and clinics short of people, equipment and protection ought to be absolutely ashamed. Meanwhile, the Aspen manufacturing facility in Gqeberha will produce 30 million Johnson & Johnson vaccine doses for SA in April alone, rollout also starting this month. And moving to news abroad, Canada's third coronavirus wave affecting more young people, Chief Public Health Officer announces a 64% increase in new cases in Canada is battling a surge of coronavirus infections fueled by new variants, which is sickening much younger adults than hospitals are accustomed to. On Saturday evening, the nation surpassed 1 million recorded coronavirus cases. Canada's Chief Public Health Officer, Dr. Theresa Tam, recently announced a 64% increase in new cases, 90% of which involve the variant first found in the UK. She said the virus is now spreading more quickly, and the people filling the ICUs right now are all in their 30s, 40s and 50s. Staying with news abroad, Niger's president sworn in after failed coup attacks by jihadist groups on the increase. Now, Niger has had its first democratic transfer of power after Mohamed Bazoum was sworn in as president this weekend. It comes just days after the government said it had thwarted an attempted coup by parts of the military. The West African nation is facing increasing attacks by jihadist groups. The inauguration marks the first time one elected leader has handed power to another since independence in 1960. There was tight security in the capital ahead of the ceremony. And snooping, exploring and bounding around on the loose for some 7 weeks in the leafy Johannesburg suburbs of Northcliffe and Emmarentia, Jeffrey the baboon has been captured unhurt. He is said to be safe, enjoying his grub and is relatively unstressed. Although he wasn't as controversial and didn't enjoy the same length of time on the loose as Cape Town's Kataza did some time ago, it's clear that he was afforded similar courtesy, indulgence and respect by Joburg residents as by the majority of those in Cape Town. Of late, Facebook community pages were flooded with reports and sightings of Jeffrey cavorting around Northcliffe and Emmarentia. Cora Bailey of the animal welfare group Community-Led Animal Welfare, also known as CLAW, said it was not easy to trap and relocate such animals. She called on residents not to approach or injure Jeffrey and requested that CLAW be informed of sightings. And also, after holding the interests of two suburbs residents for almost 7 weeks, Jeffrey's big gadabout came to an end on Good Friday. CLAW has placed him in a rehabilitation facility from where he will be released in the mountainous areas close to Northcliffe. Well, on that happy note, that's where I leave your morning headlines for now. Here is another look of your sport with Graham.
Thanks so much, Zoe. Plenty to catch up on after a busy weekend in sport. Let's start with cricket. An impressive team effort by the Proteas helped them to a 17-run victory over Pakistan to now level the ODI Series 1-1 at the Wanderers in Johannesburg yesterday. Brilliant batting performance. Quinton de Kock, Themba Bavuma, Rassie van der Dussen and David Miller all reaching half centuries to guide South Africa to that win. Then on Friday, Pakistan beat the hosts by 3 wickets in that first one-day international. Baba Azam, a superb century there. The third and final ODI will take place this coming Wednesday, kick-starting at 10 a.m. Then round 1 of the 2021 Varsity Cup season took place in a bio bubble at the Tuks Stadium, and that saw wins for CUT and UP Tuks yesterday. CUT scoring 6 tries, in fact, to record a 46-13 bonus point win over UJ, and Tukkies recording that 48-25 win over the Joburg-based Witsies. There'll be 3 Varsity Cup fixtures today as NWU's Eagles. They'll face the Madibas at 3 p.m. UW WC, they take on UFS's Sholas at 5 p.m. And then the UCT Ikes will be up against Marties at 7 p.m. Some great derby action there. Then staying with rugby, the Reds, they've remained unbeaten in the Australian domestic Super Rugby competition, stretching their lead at the top after thrashing the Rebels 44-19 in Melbourne on Saturday. Now the Super Rugby AU results, defending champions, the Brumbies just edged out the Waratahs 24-22 in a nail-biting encounter. Then in Super Rugby Aotearoa, the Blues recorded a 27-17 victory over the Hurricanes. And then the Highlanders, the upset of the weekend, they shocked the reigning champions, the Crusaders, 33-12. Bringing it back to South Africa for football, KwaZulu-Natal-based clubs Golden Arrows and Amazulu FC moving now within 3 points of the table-topping Mamelodi Sundowns after this weekend's Premier Soccer League action. Arrows and Swallows FC played out to a 1-1 draw at the Dobsonville Stadium. That while Amazulu, they secured a narrow 1-0 victory over Black Leopards. In our other PSL results, a big win for Maritzburg United, claiming an emphatic 5-1 win over Chippa United. And Bloem Celtic, they edged out TS Galaxy 2-1. Then staying with the beautiful game, defending Premier League champions Liverpool, they outclassed Mikel Arteta's Arsenal 3-0 on the night at the Emirates Stadium on Saturday. A brace by Diogo Jota and a goal by Mohamed Salah securing the vital win for the Reds. And the top of the table Man City, they now only require 11 points from just 7 matches to seal their third Premier League crown in 4 seasons. That was after beating Leicester City 2-0 and looking every part the champions. In other Premier League results, Newcastle and Tottenham Hotspur, they drew 2-2. Man United, they beat Brighton 2-1. And then a massive upset this weekend, West Bromwich Albion, they stunned Thomas Tuchel's Chelsea 5-2. And then finally onto 2 wheels in motorsport this weekend. The flying Frenchman Fabio Quartararo, he won the second race of the brand new MotoGP season in Doha ahead of fellow countryman and championship leader Johan Zarco. It was a second race win for Yamaha in as many races. That was after Maverick Vinales won in the season opener last week. Pramac Racing Ducati, they had 2 riders on the podium yesterday with Zarco and teammate Jorge Martin in 2nd and 3rd place respectively. South Africa's Brad Binder had a strong performance, finishing in 8th in his Premier Class race, and his younger brother Darren finished in 2nd place in the Moto3 race in Doha. And that's where we leave our sport for this hour. Let's get another look at some of your beautiful sunrise pictures.
And a big thank you to all of our viewers that have shared their sunrise photos with us. We really love seeing how you start your day. Now, this morning we received a lovely image. This is from Boitumelo Florence Monoshi from Lobatse, Botswana. How exciting, and we would absolutely love to encourage more of our international viewers to share more of their sunrise photos with us too. Today you can expect a maximum hot temperature of 32 degrees Celsius. And then Pravesh Tontpal from Dundee also shared this beautiful blue and pink sky scattered with clouds. Today will reach a maximum of 26 degrees Celsius in Dundee. Please do continue to share your sunrise photos with us, and you can do so on the Expresso Facebook page. And while we enjoy experiencing a sunrise from your parts of South Africa, we also have some international viewers tuning in on both YouTube and the Africa channel in the US. This morning we report on the weather from Flores Island, located in the eastern half of Indonesia. Now, the name Flores is the Portuguese word for flowers. In addition to tourism and main economic activities on Flores are agriculture, fishing, and seaweed production. And today, the bad weather is going to continue in this area today, with a couple of thunderstorms and a maximum of 30 degrees Celsius. And just a quick news update regarding Flores: at least 44 people have died after flash floods and landslides swept an island in Indonesia's easternmost province yesterday morning. Now, hours before people woke up to celebrate Easter Sunday, torrential rain resulted in flash floods in the Catholic majority Flores Island. Mud inundated homes, and bridges and roads in the east of the island were destroyed. Rescuers expect the death toll to rise as they're struggling to reach the remote and worst hit areas in East East Flores Regency because of rains and huge waves. A bridge collapsed on the island of Adonara, where rescuers were battling heavy rain, strong wind and waves. In neighboring East Moor, 8 people were killed in a landslide on the outskirts of the capital, Dili, and the extreme weather is expected to continue in the coming weeks. We certainly send our prayers and thoughts with those affected. And if you're in South Africa, let's look at your temperatures. In Polokwane, a low of 14 with a high of 28 can be expected for today. Mbombela, 17, reaching a high of 27. Pretoria, partly cloudy with a high of 29. Johannesburg, 14, reaching a high of 27. It's sunny in Mahikeng with a high of 31. Klerksdorp, 16, with a high of 31. Partly cloudy in Kimberley, reaching a high of 32. Bloemfontein, 11, with a high of 29. Richards Bay, 18, 27. Pietermaritzburg, 16, 26. Durban, your low is 20, your high 27. Mthatha, 14, 26. Rain is expected in East London today, 17 with a high of 21. Cradock, 13, 28. Rainy conditions in Gqeberha today, a low of 15, a high of 20. George, 13, reaching a high of 19. It's partly cloudy in Cape Town with a high of 20 degrees Celsius. Worcester, 12, reaching a high of 26. It's sunny in Sutherland, 10, reaching a high of 23. And Uppington, your low for today is 16 and your high 24 degrees Celsius. That's where we leave your morning weather for now. We'll have a final update for you at 8 o'clock.
All I can think about today is like, we are family. Ooh, yeah. Because
Oh, you're just stopping midway through. What? I thought we were going all the way.
Oh, I didn't know that you were going to hype that song up so much.
Family
Thank you so
are,
much.
eh? Yeah.
Can you see the bonding that's happening right now? Because we asked you on social media, how do you as a family bond? How do you keep it all together? And of course, you guys came through on our social media platforms. Let's check it out.
Sam came through first, and Sam Holmes in the building says, with Monopoly, it's definitely a family bonding affair. We take it super serious and we're very competitive, loads of fun. I don't know if that's a good idea because Monopoly can end a family as well. I'm seeing crazy stuff happening in that
It takes so
game.
long. So you have to bond with the family. There's no running away. There's no running away from that one. We have Isabella Ellis saying, good morning, my Expresso family. Yesterday we had a braai. The kids played Uno at the table. We have plenty of games. We listen to music or chat. That's what it's all about. It's just
It sounds very
putting it
similar to
together.
your family, Dad.
Definitely.
Zanzi's on your
Isabella,
vibe this weekend.
maybe we're family and we don't even know it. But we are family.
And then we got Pammy in the building. Pamela Abraham says, good morning, Expresso show. Good food and cracking jokes. That's my favorite family time, especially when the grandkids come around to visit and want to make a good time, I guess. I don't know. She just
Definitely.
ended us, left us hanging.
I know
halfway
Auntie Pam.
through.
Auntie Pam is actually a family friend, so...
Are you serious?
No, not even joking.
Were you at the...
I was not there. But again, South Africa, you are our family, so that's why we know exactly what the vibe is. But remember to connect with us, Expresso Morning Show, SABC3. We have a very interesting performer coming your way for Gospel Monday, so don't go anywhere. We'll see you in a moment.
We...
Welcome back. You are live with Expresso on a beautiful family day. So thank you so much for tuning in. And you're about to get your just rewards this morning. We're going to have an amazing performance on the way. But first, let's get to know the performer all the way from Pietermaritzburg in KwaZulu-Natal. Gospel singing sensation, because that's what he is. Esihle Siwela. He always knew that singing was the very first love and still is. Esihle discovered his passion and love for gospel music back in 2018. And he has since released a number of amazing gospel tracks.
And this morning, the up-and-coming gospel singer and songwriter joined us in the studio to tell us more about his newest spiritual hit, Inge Yako, before he performs. So a very good morning to Esihle.
Good morning.
Good morning. Shame, I saw him this morning when I came in at like 5 o'clock. You were still sitting up, you coming in. Welcome to Gate. It was so cold.
Oh, buddy, welcome. Thank you so much for blessing us on this beautiful day. Family Day, it's a great day to be able to perform the kind of music that you do. And I love that about gospel performers. There's always a different motivation as to why you're getting out there and performing. Why did you start and go into this lane with your music? What was because it has to be a calling, surely. Where did you find this calling?
Definitely, it has to be a calling. Started singing at a very young age. I think I was in pre-primary school, but I was doing classical choral music. And then I started doing gospel music, I think 2018. That's when I started taking it seriously, straight after I got saved. I was like, okay, this has to be for God. Definitely, I'm doing it for God. Then I was like, you know what, I'm glued into gospel. Then I went straight to gospel, and then I did gospel. Calling. Definitely.
A calling, yeah.
Love that. And then when it comes to, you know, your music and the lyrics and writing that down, where does the inspiration come from? Because yes, it was a calling, but then actually putting it to pen and paper, how do you
still got to write good music, man. Yeah.
That's a very interesting question. It goes a long way. Sometimes you're inspired by situations that you're going through. Sometimes you literally need to wake up in the morning, take a pad, take a pen, sit down, be intentional. I'm writing. Sometimes you just meet up with a great group of musicians, because sometimes you can't do it alone. It's either you're led by the Spirit or you're sitting with the amazing people that you literally need to sit down with. You guys write. So it comes from people, situations that I go through, and sometimes God.
Sometimes just a good hook, but I would imagine you have to sleep. You have to sleep with a notepad next to your bed, just in case. Yeah?
You never know.
I love that. So I would like to know how this particular song came to you, Inge Yako. What was the inspiration behind this? Talk us through that creative process.
Inge, I was really exhausted. We serve in the church, you're in the worship team, you serve sometimes. Like, literally, I was exhausted. I was at a point where, like, I'm so exhausted of doing this for people. Sometimes you can literally stand in the pulpit, hold the mic, and expect people to worship with you. They will not join in. They'll just stare at you. I was like, you know what? I'm tired of this. Then I had a voice saying, this is not for people, and this is not for you either, but this is for me, because that song simply means it's all yours. We're taking the worship and praise back to God that is due unto Him. So that's how the song came about.
Beautiful. 2021, and there's something you mentioned earlier on is being intentional. So be intent with what you're putting out there for this year. What can we expect from you, from your brand, for the year of 2021?
This is exciting. Definitely exciting. I am currently working on my EP, which is going to come out sometime this month or beginning of May.
Yeah.
So expect a lot of intimate moments, worship and unplugged sessions after that.
Yeah, man, and hopefully, and I'm going to say this unashamedly, a commercially successful campaign, because you're also an artist that's building a career that needs to look after yourself, and we want to make sure that you are hitting those notes as well. But so cool to connect with you. I have a feeling that your star is on a massive trajectory now, man.
that.
So thank you so much for coming and blessing us with your talent. We are going to be seeing a performance, of course, this morning, or a couple of performances just for you. So you want to stick around for this Easter Monday as singer and songwriter Esihle Siwela will be indeed blessing us with 3 incredible praise and worship performances. Right now, though, we turn to the silver screen. The Screen and Actors Guild Awards are here, and it's an amazing time, an opportunity to see what could be taking the Oscars. So let's find out from the man himself.
Oh, well, it's time for us to talk movies with the one and only person that I know has got his own little intro, JP Sebastian. And we're not just talking movies, we're talking about the Screen Actors Guild Awards, which literally just wrapped up, right?
Well, these weren't too bad.
A couple of hours ago.
It's just the acting category, so there's not as much speechiness, and I think everyone's just content to sit in their pajamas on streaming these days. So, yeah, none of the technical stuff like cinematography and editing and whatever, so it's relatively short.
Relatively short. So let's start off
go.
with the first category, and we'll take a look at an outstanding action performance by a stunt ensemble.
That's the one.
Interesting category.
Oh, well, do they get enough credit? Stuntmen and women, they literally break their backs for you. They literally bend over backwards, throw themselves downstairs, and they don't even have a category in the Oscars. It is a time-honored art, and like actors always say, like the person who shadows them, the person who knows them best is their stunt double. So let's honor them, and thank goodness the SAG awards do. So starting up was the Five Bloods team got a nod for nomination for a stunt ensemble. It wasn't like, I mean, it's a war movie, but there were bits and pieces here and there. It's a bunch of middle-aged men. Who knows how exciting that can get? I did watch it myself, wasn't so bad. Mulan is one that I'm such an idiot for hyping the way I did. I really thought this was bound for Oscar glory, and then it just ended up being lame.
Oh, shame.
That's the worst. I'm sorry, I should go to bed like for a week or something. But no, the action was at least interesting, I suppose, and it was colourful and pretty. News of the World, the best clip I can find for you of News of the World. We're really struggling for stunts. I think all the stunt people were in lockdown. They were stuck on couches, and so you got to see a wagon careening off a hill the size of a small dog.
Did the wagon get nominated?
Well, if we're being PC, hopefully. Then Trial of the Chicago 7, again, these pickings are kind of slim. If you consider last year we had Ford versus Ferrari, we had Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and who won? Avengers Endgame. How do these compare? Not so strongly, but Trial of the Chicago 7 is obviously a law procedural kind of thing. How exciting can that get? Protests, I suppose, here and there, but obviously the one that's best for the deal, best hope, is Wonder Woman 1984, which actually the little one, I've forgotten her name now, but the one who plays Young
Wonder Woman.
That's the name. Did all of her own stunts, and they were very proud of that. So that was pretty miraculous to see. So yeah,
and the winner is?
I suppose there's like, if you guess this, I don't know, give yourself a cookie.
Is it Wonder Woman? Can I guess?
Well done. The winner, of course, was Wonder Woman 1984, because good grief, I think we've made couch potatoes of our glorious muscle-bound stuntmen and women who probably deserve a break, and especially under the circumstances. But this must have been kinetic enough fun.
That's
and like
amazing.
I said, the little one did her own stuff, so good for her.
Well done. Let's move over to outstanding supporting male category.
Yes, and this last year it was Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Obviously Brad Pitt who took it. This time around we've got Borat, obviously for the Trial of Chicago 7. Sacha Baron Cohen, who by the way studied law, I think it was Oxford University, so this movie is right up his alley, and does a great Chicago accent in this, by the way. So yeah, he's had nods, of course, in Globes. He's up for nominations everywhere else. Chadwick Boseman. I cried watching interviews of this guy. The vitality of someone knowing that they're at their end and
giving it their all.
Irrespective, just concerned with the path of mastery, and the Five Bloods, he was the glue that held all of it together. Even though you have a strong cast there, he was the heart of it all. Then, of course, Daniel Kaluuya, nominated for Judas and Black Messiah. Now, this was interesting because it was in the Oscars that we saw that it was both Lakeith Stanfield and Daniel Kaluuya nominated for
both
supporting.
the lead and the support nominated in the support category.
Nevertheless, I'm sure he's got a good chance here. Maybe with Lakeith gone out of the supporting. The little thing is Jared Leto, who, he's this weird dude for me. Like, I've got a love-hate relationship with him. Like, I can't stand the guy. Maybe it's just his emo music, but he's a good actor. I can't deny it. The little things, maybe he was the strongest point of a script that was maybe just, it didn't give him due justice for what he was trying to achieve. I don't think he stands a good enough chance there. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. Leslie Odom Jr. plays Sam Cooke. I was born by the river. Okay, I'm not going to do the rest.
No, One Night in Miami.
I've just cancelled award shows all over the world. That is like, I've shamed arts and culture everywhere. But he does a fantastic job of Sam Cooke, and much better than me. The winner is, maybe it was lucky that Lakeith is up, because Daniel Kaluuya grabs it for supporting actor. does Comrade Fred Hampton to a T. It's just such, we think that the pickings were so slim because of the pandemic, but actually there were such strong performances. And
I'm seeing it time and time again. I saw it with the Golden Globes, I saw it with the Oscars. Some of these names are coming again and again and again. So amazing.
yeah, we really had some great choices, and unfortunately, maybe it's because it's actors choosing actors in the SAG. They ended up choosing the ones who hit strongest.
Amazing. Last category for us is Outstanding Supporting Female.
I'm running my mouth. Mansplaining, probably, when I should be talking about supporting females. And the nominees are Maria Bakalova for Borat, subsequent movie film. I've not slept, everyone. Cut me slack. It's like 8 coffees. She is apparently a revelation. I've not seen it myself, but she's...
You don't sound very optimistic.
No. I love Borat. I grew up on Ali G. I'm very embarrassed to say that. It probably explains my 2 brain cells. Explains is what JP just said. Good grief. Moving on. Your favorite. Why?
Glenn Close, because she looks like Mrs. Doubtfire.
So what I did for you is in these clips just showed you just faces of Glenn Close looking aghast, just looking disappointed in Zoe. That's the faces I chose. Because of that comparison, which has totally messed up my brain. But fantastic actress, obviously. It was the wife that she was great in last year, and this year maybe she has a chance. Olivia Colman, who won for The Favorite. And I keep repeating this, but you have to, because she's like a first-time actress, basically, in a big movie, second time now, and she's acting like a revelation. Incredible actress. Really going to have my heart broken by that movie, I know for sure. Yoon Yo-jung for Minari. And this is great to see, because last year, obviously, Parasite was sweeping, and JP was hyperventilating about 5 times more than this about Parasite. And we didn't see any of the actors in supporting lead or anything. But yeah, we see Korean representation in Yoon Yo-jung, who is basically there. Meryl Streep over in South Korea would be like, oh, Asian person. It's like, no, this person is huge. Promise.
And last but not least,
a bit tinier is Helena Zengel, who was in News of the World. One of these young nominees. Lots of promise, I'm sure. But the winner is...
Who's our winner for Best Outstanding Supporting Female?
Please show us. My brain has gone flat. Yes, Yoon Yo-jung has won it.
Congratulations.
A favorite of Bong Joon-ho, who we love dearly from Parasite. This lady is such a sweetie pie. I wish I could show you a clip of this. I can't, you're my director, because I've messed up my earpiece. No one? Anyone? No? No clip?
But we are over time now. So I tell you what, we have got more movie... Well, we're going to look at the SAG Awards and some of those winners a little bit later. JP's not going anywhere, so stay tuned to Feel Good Breakfast Show. But we've just unpacked Best Outstanding Supporting Female, Supporting Male, as well as Performance by a Stunt Ensemble. So more to come.
Here's to you, Mzansi. Get 50% off the attorney bond registration fee plus 5,000 Rand cashback on your approved home loan. Dial *120 *001 *123# to find out how much you qualify for.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Hey, welcome back to your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso. We are unpacking the 27th Screen Actor Guild Awards nominees and winners with JP Sebastian. And I know we've just tackled, you know, I don't want to say the understudy, but now we're going to focus on the leads in the performing lead. I'm messing up this category. So let's first start off with outstanding performance by a male actor in a leading role. There we go.
That was very serious. We've been very presidential about it. Riz Ahmed for Sound of Metal told you I'm going to chunk for this movie when it comes out. He is a guy who is losing his sense of hearing, but he loves rock music, finds out that he needs to lean on other people because of this new disability that has entered his life. Chadwick Boseman, again, my heart overflows, and I can't believe the kind of energy that the man puts in his role and what he did in Ma Rainey's Black Bottom Year. Just fantastic actor, and what a lost us.
See him nominated.
One of the
deserving.
Well, absolutely, that's the thing. It's not like, oh, consolation prize, and we can try and pronounce the word posthumous all we like, but he absolutely deserves this. We'll see if he gets it. Anthony Hopkins, who apparently turns in his best performance of his entire life, which is hard to believe because he's such a gigantic, you know, stalwart, mythologically large actor that he is. For The Father, good grief, another heartbreaking movie. I think like maybe everyone just needs a hug after the pandemic, and I think these movies will, you know, help you feel about and a bit more vulnerable, open up. So check that out if you can, about Alzheimer's, very serious stuff. Mank, however, is good. I love David Fincher a lot. Obviously, the guy who did Gone Girl.
Yes.
Very meticulous kind of director. And yeah, he's Gary Oldman, who lost one for playing Winston Churchill. In that movie that was really lackluster. Mank, yeah, Hollywood loves stories about Hollywood, so who knows, chances are pretty good. And then Steven Yeun for, I was going to say The Walking Dead, but that's obviously where he made his start in that TV series.
This is for Minari.
Minari, again, getting the representation that it deserves and not falling into the foreign category, even though it's an American movie with American actors, like it did in some awards. Anyway, that's crazy.
And the
Let's
winner
talk about the winner, and absolutely deservingly, Chadwick Boseman.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and it's totally not, you know, a consolation prize.
No.
Let's be nice, and you know what? Let's talk about representation or anything like that. It's so weird for me that even though I think that he was 42 when he passed, or 40, I can't remember correctly, but he still felt. I was like, oh wow, this is a newcomer. He's so up and coming. He's so vibrant. He's got so much energy. So tell you what, let you see for yourselves the kind of devotion and pinpoint, laser point accuracy that he puts into portraying the character better than JP can pronounce his words. Here is Chadwick Boseman from Ma Rainey's Black Bottom.
You. I don't see your name in lights.
Oh, I just play the piece, whatever they want. I don't criticize other people's music.
I ain't like you, Color. I got talent.
Oh,
me and this horn, we's tight. If my daddy had known I was gonna turn out like this, he would have named me Gabriel. Oh. I'm gonna get me a band and make me some records. I done give Mr. Stutterman some of my songs I wrote, and he said he gonna let me record them when I get my band together. I just got to finish the last part of this song. I got style.
Oh, everybody got style. Style ain't nothing but keeping the same idea from beginning to end. Everybody got it.
Everybody can't play like I do.
Brilliant actor.
Like, even though I'm a rubbish actor, like, it's the kind of thing that might motivate you. Like, you see that what they're doing is art. What they're doing is actually creative, organic. He's living it down to the toes, to the tips of his fingers. Just incredible, not just, like, remembering lines. Acting is such a beautiful thing, and he really wanted to give us, I suppose, his most beautiful.
He did. He certainly did. Now let's move on to outstanding performance by a female in a leading role.
And again, just when we thought it was a bit too rough, although speaking of rough, Hillbilly Elegy has had a bit of a rocky road at these awards, you know, including being confused with Mrs. Doubtfire. Amy Adams needs to probably take a back seat this year as well. This is the lady who just cannot crack a nod from the Oscars, even though she has deserved it like 7 times in the past.
I love her style of acting.
She's so good, from comedy to like intense, like dramatic sci-fi that she does, but Hillbilly Elegy is not going to be the one that delivers the silverware for, I'm afraid. Viola Davis, incredible in Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. I was just talking about people living it from, and Chadwick Boseman and her together on screen. What a privilege, from the tips of their fingers to the tips of their toes. Just amazing acting. It's really just a privilege to see. It's like watching Usain Bolt run. You don't even care about the Olympics. It's just,
anyway. Watch them.
Absolutely. Doesn't even matter if you don't even know how to spell names. Vanessa Kirby is an interesting name. I've got a soft spot for her. She, I think, has made a name for herself, obviously, from Mission Impossible. Here she plays a bit more of, obviously, a bit more of a serious role. Frances McDormand, who I usually say deserves a category of her own, but surprise, surprise, has actually not been raking it the way she has in the past. It was 3 billboards outside Ebbing, Missouri that we saw before. It was Fargo, obviously, their history with that, and she's just also one of the most incredible actresses that we have. Carrie Mulligan has pulled out all the stops. People might remember her again. I keep repeating myself, I'm sorry, because, hey, we're in awards season.
It's the same names coming up, same names and faces.
Played something so mousy and so delicate, which has its own reason and its own context within the movie Drive, and here just plays something with claws, fangs, and makeup that is frightening, but so educational, in fact, for especially men to watch. Promising
And the winner is...
Cleaning up. Today is Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. Viola Davis is absolutely deserving of this award. Actually, weird, I forgot to mention, Andra Day falls out of this category for Amy Adams, but we have another songbird, obviously, who took it.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's such a tight category, man. How do you choose? But tell you what, here's how you can choose. South Africa, let's appreciate why she won Best Leading Actress at the Screen Actors Guild Awards. Here is a clip from Ma Rainey's Black Bottom.
White folk don't understand about the blues. They hear it come out, but they don't know how it got there. They don't understand that that's life's way of talking. You don't sing to feel better. You sing because that's the way of understanding life. The blues help you get out of bed in the morning. You get up knowing you ain't alone. Something else in the world. Something been added by that song. This be an empty world without the blues. Yeah. I try to take that emptiness and fill it up with something. I ain't started blues way of singing. Blues always been there. But if they want to call me Mother Blues, that's all right with me. It don't hurt none.
Viola Davis walking away with the winner for the SAG category of Outstanding Performance by a female actor in a leading role. There we go. Well, JP Sebastian's not going anywhere, of course. We have been unpacking the SAG Awards for you. But are you hungry?
No.
Today is family day. We're making all kinds of delicious meals on your Feel Good Breakfast show, so stay tuned.
Yay.
Hey, the most.
Every time
Blue's always been there.
Role, she has
always been there.
What do you
That was amazing, man.
Yeah, definitely. But of course, it is Family Day on your Feel Good Breakfast show.
It is.
So we thought we'd bring you something warm and comforting to kickstart your week. Our Be Well Vegan Shepherd's Pie is the perfect way to enjoy a meat-free meal and celebrate Family Day with your loved ones. Talking about loved ones, we thought we'd bring the lover man, the family man himself, Mr. G, to make this
Mr.
perfect
Family
recipe.
Man.
Yeah.
Shepherd's pie is cool, it's hearty, it's comfort food. Ultimate comfort food, and if it's cold outside, it's going to be warm inside because of our shepherd's pie. And of course, we are making it with our beautiful canola and olive oil blend from Be Well, which obviously is ideal for this particular scenario. So what I've got going here, I've got my chopped onions and my chopped mushrooms already sauteing here, and quite finely chopped. You don't want it to be too chunky. I'm just going to put a little bit more oil in there. And then a host of ingredients going in here. You're kind of creating a bolognese type dish, so it's similar sort of flavor profiles. So we've got some garlic going in, quite a healthy amount of garlic. This must sing with flavor. It must sing with flavor.
And we speak about this so often that you don't need to shy away from all the flavors and just the flavor profile when it comes to vegan foods. Pack it in with all the ingredients, pack it in
That's
with
the key, actually, is to make sure that the flavor is there. So we've got some Worcester sauce going in there as well. That might be the soy sauce. Actually, we've got a nice thick sweet soy sauce, beautiful, and a little bit of Worcester sauce here.
I'm actually laughing because we've introduced, Meat-Free Mondays at home.
Whoa.
And so my mom is someone that she's like race, vlees and aardappels. Everything needs to have something like that.
Have you changed her yet?
But I've changed her. So
Really?
I've been making like quinoa bowls and quinoa salads. It's going to be very interesting to see how she's going to adapt to vegan shepherd's pie. Because she's going to be like, Basi mince. But I'll be like, Mom,
Or using a bit of soy mince, yeah, which
Soy
does the job. Okay, so I put some oregano in. We've got some paprika going in there as well. A bit of cayenne pepper for a little bit of spice. This will warm you up from the inside out. And I like to kind of cook the flavors and the spices in first before adding the stock and the tomatoes, just to let those flavors really develop and infuse and come out there. Got some cinnamon sticks going in there as well.
Oh, you are packing it.
I know.
You are
Don't
just
hold back,
packing it.
girl. This is like the blues. Yes, we're going to load it with as much flavor as possible. A bit of cumin going in there as well. It's a very warming, hearty flavors. And then we've got some tomato paste.
Soul food.
And the tomato paste, that cumin makes a big difference. The tomato paste is great because it kind of acts as a thickener as well. So I really want those flavors to cook through. And now we can start adding our kind of wet ingredients, if you will. Tin tomatoes, one tin. And our stock, you can use whatever stock you want. Obviously, we're going with a veggie stock here. If you were doing this with a meat introduction, you could add a chicken or a different stock. But this, you can see beautiful, rich, thick.
And what I love about this dish as well is this is where you get to throw in other vegetables as well. Really, so the kids don't even know that they're eating all the goodness that they deserve. Throw that in there and just that.
It's already looking, I always love it when like a bolognese sauce like this gets that sheen. You want it to have that kind of gloss on the top. Okay, and now we can add in, and like you say, you can go with any additions. We've got some frozen peas going in here as well. You can add any veggies that you like. The peas just work well in the context of the shepherd's pie. And our hero, our star of the dish, we are using our soy mince as our meat variant.
Beautiful.
And this is going to thicken up beautifully.
I was going to say that's going to give that texture now.
Yeah, and it's going to. I mean, it's going to have a beautiful meaty taste and texture, which is great. And I mean, you don't always have to look at replacing the meat in a vegan dish.
Yeah, definitely.
But for something like a shepherd's pie, this just works so well.
As
and
long
that's
as
starting
it's packing in the flavor.
to thicken immediately and look amazing. And it's just the addition of those spices, the cumin and the cinnamon, it just changes the whole
and the
kind of the nose of it. Yeah, it's
as well,
absolutely amazing. And then lastly, we're putting in some barley. And this is probably out of everything here, the barley is going to take the longest to cook, probably about 30 minutes or so. And just once that starts to swell and absorb the moisture, but you can see how it's thickening already.
Yeah.
And this, I will just turn the heat down a little bit. And we're on our way.
Some pepper, and you're good to go.
And we can just, as you say, season to taste and keep seasoning as you go. And taste it, man. Taste the food. I have far too much salt, so I love it. But, you know, if it's a good salt, a Malden salt, a nice kind of refined. And look at that. Beautiful, amazing, packed with goodness and flavor and richness. And it turns out like that about half an hour, I say.
My time to shine now.
The barley is kind of swollen a little bit, and that looks great. So that's one half of your shepherd's pie sorted.
And then the other half, so we're going to take some garlic flakes with this and some of that Be Well canola oil. I'm going to mix it with your potato. You can use some sweet potato if you'd like. If you want to do that.
I like actually a bit of sweet potato there, but I love the idea of flavoring your mashed potato. I think that's ideal. I love
100%. And then you're just going to put that on. You can dollop it on. You can smear it, whatever you want. I'm just going to go right in over there for the top. And that is going to pop that into the oven. Give you that nice golden crust that we have going there. Thank you to our kitchen fairies for preparing that.
And I like
and
it, it must have little crests and little bits on the top that can crisp up beautifully, because that's the best part about a shepherd's pie, is having that kind of contrast of textures and flavors.
And when you just break it in, and then it has all that flavors that just burst through as you put your first
Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Hearty, this is comfort food at its best. You can find this recipe on expressoshow.com. Okay? Beautiful.
Does a room in your home desperately need a deep clean and declutter experience? This could be your chance to upgrade your space for you and your family to enjoy. SA's online cleaning hub, Cleanipedia, is giving away 2 room transformations worth 30,000 Rand each. Visit cleanipedia.com/ZA and sign up to enter. You could also stand a chance to win weekly prize hampers. Get easy, expert cleaning tips for a happier home at cleanipedia.com/ZA.
now.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso. We've been unpacking the Screen Actors Guild Awards, the 27th annual of it. At that, I'm like losing my words here because I'm so excited to unpack the final category with JP Sebastian. So it's the 27th annual SAG Awards. There we go.
And the category is?
And the category is Outstanding Performance by a Cast
Ensemble. So yes, this is just a collection, the whole family. And here they are. The Five Bloods is the first nominee. Isaiah Whitlock Jr., need I say, Chadwick Boseman. Delroy Lindo really carries the family real strong there. You can see him in the middle there. But Spike Lee just doesn't do something here that I think makes these characters organic too much. I think he's trying to hammer a point too strongly, so we'll see how it goes. Minari, on the other hand, has Stephen Yuen, who was nominated for leading male, of course, and Yoon Ya-jung, who won for supporting actress, and little Alan Kim, who everyone's falling in love with. That little boy's got so much character. You're going to want to adopt the whole family, in fact, so that's a really strong ensemble you got there. But this one is just two absolutely, just heavyweights at the front. Chadwick Boseman, obviously, who won lead male for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, and lead female was Viola Davis. So, you know.
Strong contender.
You kind of wonder what's everyone else doing in this cast. And obviously, they're fantastic too. Glyn Turner, Michael Potts. But the entire thing is very top-heavy on those two gigantic stars. One Night in Miami is just a gift, I think, for actors to play this kind of thing. You've got a character, Malcolm X. You've got Leslie Odom Jr. playing Sam Cooke. You've got Muhammad Ali, and so I'm sure they bring their A game into that too, but hasn't been getting enough love, obviously nominations, but not enough wins in the season so far. We'll see how it goes for Oscars. And then finally, the trial of the Chicago 7. Eddie Redmayne there, front and center. Where's he been lately? Mark Rylance, Yahya Abdul-Mateen, and Joseph Gordon-Levitt, the lady's heartthrob, that one. And of course, Sacha Baron Cohen.
Who's also had quite a few nods.
So it's topical, it's it's of the moment, it's got to do with police violence, etc., etc. But the winner then must go to, of course, the trial of the Chicago 7 for cast ensemble. It wasn't really a hard choice if you consider that everyone seems to have equal weighting in Aaron Sorkin is such a good writer, in fact, guy who did The Social Network, etc., etc. But maybe you get a taste for yourself. Here's a clip from the trial of the Chicago 7. Look at the strength for yourself.
Lincoln said in his inaugural address, "When the people shall grow weary of their constitutional right to amend their government, they shall exert their revolutionary right to dismember and overthrow that government."
That's part of the beauty of the United States of America, is that the citizens are supposed to be skeptical and not just blindly defer to the government.
So how do you overthrow or dismember, as you say, your government peacefully?
In this country, we do it every 4 years.
I hope people start saying, gee, we seem to have gone backwards. How did we end up back in 1968? We don't want to do that again. The nature of protest and the fact that when you protest your government, it doesn't mean you're anti-American. Quite the opposite. If it becomes something that sparks a conversation, well, now we're talking. That's really the good stuff.
When we walked in here this morning, they were chanting that the whole world is watching.
If we leave here without saying anything about why we came in the first place, it'll be heartbreaking.
You have to find some courage now.
Oh, there we go. The trial of Chicago 7 walking away with outstanding cast ensemble.
Absolutely, of the moment, and Aaron Sorkin pulls out all the stops again. Trial of the Chicago 7 probably deserved it this year.
Oh, well, we'll need to keep our fingers crossed and see, because so many of the names you mentioned now also was nominated for the Oscars. So that's taking place later this month. So JP Sebastian, thank you for bringing us all of the SAG nominees and winners through on your Feel Good Breakfast show. But how does some music sound right about now? Yes.
You still haven't got me that food.
Okay, food and then music.
Listen, from the silver screen right here to your Feel Good Breakfast show. It is Gospel Mondays, and Esihle is here to perform a beautiful song just for the season right now. Easter Mondays, all about family, all about love, and also the reason for the season. Jesus has risen. So here he is with Ingi Yako. Take it away.
Asizenzisi
Siphoqwale ndumise ngaphakathi ubuka kithi yoninge yakho siyakuphakamisa asizenzisi Siphoqwale ndumise ngaphakathi ubuka kithi yoninge yakho siyakuphakamisa Siphoqwale ndumise yoninge yakho siyakuphakamisa asizenzisi Siphoqwale ndumise ngaphakathi yoninge yakho siyakuphakamisa asizenzisi Siphoqwale ndumise ngaphakathi yoninge yakho siyakuphakamisa asizenzisi silawulwa indumiso engaphakathi ubuka kithi yoninge yakho ingeyakho eyakho eyakho ingeyakho eyakho yamngela ingeyakho eyakho eyakho ingeyakho eyakho Yamngela, oh yamngela, yamngela, indumiso, yamngela, yeah yamngela, sithi yamngela. Indumiso, yeah, oh yamngela, siyayileta, ubunge yamngela, indumiso, sithi yamngela, 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 dumiso, sithi yamngela, yamngela, Jesu yamngela, indumiso, sithi yamngela.
Welcome back. Happy Monday to all of you. A start to a brand new week. It's all about family here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
It is indeed. And speaking of family, we've got the specialist in the building, Asha Dulab, to speak to us all about sibling rivalries, relationships and feuds at home and how to solve it. But before we get into it, let's see what's happening with a roundup of our first look at the news with G.
Thanks so much. Almost 8 o'clock, so let's kick it off with our national news first. An African rock python measuring nearly 3.5 meters was captured by a herdsman in Osindisweni near Verulam, on the KZN North Coast on Saturday. Now, professional snake catcher Nick Evans from KZN Amphibian and Reptile Conservation requested assistance to move the massive reptile. Evans and a reaction officer also discovered several hatched eggs in a hole. Because of the depth of the hole, the babies were left in their natural habitats in that environment. Now, pythons are non-venomous and they live in the tropical areas of Africa and Asia. As the country observed the first year anniversary since lockdown commenced, new vehicle sales have provided reason for the industry to celebrate. So in March last year, the new vehicle market plummeted almost 30% compared to March of 2019. But last month, 1 year later, 44,217 new vehicle sales were recorded. That represents a 31.8% increase in sales year on year and an 18.4% increase over February this year alone. Passenger car sales were up 23.4% and light commercial vehicles a staggering 52.4%. Now, on the international news front, the French energy company Total has withdrawn all its personnel from the Afungi liquid natural gas facility near Palma in Mozambique in the wake of last week's Islamist insurgent attack and massacre. This full withdrawal has placed a large question mark over the future of the $60 billion project to tap Mozambique's vast Rovuma Basin offshore gas reserves, which it is counting on for future development. Earlier, SA's National Defence Force troops were sent to Mozambique to evacuate South Africans from the country, which has been rocked by Islamic insurgency attacks. Now, a little further afield, Canada's third coronavirus wave affecting more younger people. Chief Public Health Officer announces a 64% increase in new cases. Canada is battling a surge of coronavirus infections fueled by new variants, which is sickening much younger adults than hospitals are accustomed to seeing. On Saturday evening, the nation surpassed 1 million recorded coronavirus cases. Canada's Chief Public Health Officer, Dr. Theresa Tam, recently announced a 64% increase in new cases, 90% of which involved the variant first found in the UK. She said the virus is now spreading more quickly and the people filling the ICUs right now are all in their 30s, 40s and 50s. Staying on the subject, COVID-19 has prevented international tourists from visiting Cape Town in such large numbers as previous years, but nothing, not even a pandemic, could keep one particular visitor away. Buffel, the southern elephant seal, has been visiting Cape Town's beaches since 2016 in order to molt here on our coastline, and this year he decided to haul out on one of Cape Town's most picturesque beaches, Llandudno. Buffel was tagged by scientists years ago to be distinguished from other elephant seals which may pass by. These seals, they haul out each year to molt, and they must stay ashore for nearly a month as they're unable to enter water to feed because of temporary sensitivity to temperature change. The closest colony of southern elephant seals, in fact, is on Marion Island, some 2,147 kilometers away from Llandudno. They weigh some 4,000 kilograms and can dive to about 2,400 meters for up to 120 minutes. But this particular specimen, Buffel, was born in Cape Point, son to a lost mother who came ashore and now believes that this is his home. So welcome once again, Buffel. We are thrilled that Cape Town is your home, and may we see you here regularly for many more years to come. Well, that's where we leave our news headlines for this morning. Let's get one last take on our Family Day weather.
Thank you, Graham, and thank you to all of you that have taken the time to share your sunrise pictures with us over the weekend. We're going to start off this morning with a picture that came through from Annalisa Dix from Cape Town, showing off the glowing skyline and silhouetted mountains in the distance. Sabelo Bright Zamisa also shared this gloriously golden image of the sun arising in his area. At 7 a.m., we showed you the exciting submissions from Boitumelo all the way in Lobatse in Botswana. And last but not least, Pravesh Tontpal from Dundee also shared this beautiful blue and pink skyline scattered with some clouds. Now, if you would like to see your sunrise photos featured during our segments, all you have to do is head on over to the Expresso Facebook page to share your photos with us. And while we enjoy experiencing a sunrise from your parts of South Africa, we also have some international viewers that we're saying good morning to that's tuned in via YouTube and the Africa channel in the US. So this morning we are reporting on the weather from Philadelphia, the largest city in the US state of Pennsylvania. Now, Philadelphia is colloquially known as Philly and is also known for its rich history displayed at the Liberty Bell and Independence Hall. That is where the Declaration of Independence and Constitution was signed. Now, a special weather statement for the city has been released. Residents need to be aware of the fact that there's an increasing in fire danger on Monday and Tuesday, and the combination of low humidity, warming temperatures and gusty northwest winds will produce conditions for wildfires to ignite. Today in Philadelphia, you can expect a maximum of 19 degrees Celsius. And now some environmental news is that a state of emergency has been declared in Florida, that's in the US, after a leak from a large pond of toxic wastewater in Tampa Bay. More than 300 homes in the area have been ordered to be evacuated, and a motorway near the Piney Point Reservoir has been closed off. Officials said the reservoir holds some 2.3 billion liters of water containing phosphorus and nitrogen from a derelict phosphate plant. Now, the pond where the leak was located is in a stack of phosphorus, a radioactive waste product from the manufacture of fertilizer, resulting in the water containing small amounts of naturally occurring radium and uranium. Now, thousands of liters per minute were currently being pumped out of the reservoir to bring the volume of water down, while a path of control the flow, the water is also being charted. By declaring a state of emergency, funds can be released for more pumps and cranes to be rushed to the area. And now with your weather and temperatures here in South Africa, let's start off with Polokwane. A low of 14 can be expected with a high of 28. Mpumbela 17 reaching a high of 27. Pretoria 15, 29. Johannesburg 14 reaching a high of 27. It's sunny in Mahikeng reaching a high of 31. Klerksdorp 16 with a high of 31. If you're in Kimberley, your low for today is 15, your high 32. Partly cloudy conditions in Bloemfontein, a low of 17, a high of 29. Richards Bay 18, 27. Pietermaritzburg 16, 26. Durban 20 reaching a high of 20. It's partly cloudy in Mthatha today, 14 with a high of 26. Rain is expected in East London today. Your high is 21. Cradock 13 reaching a high of 28. Gqeberha 15 reaching a high of 20. Rainy conditions in George today with a high of 19. Cape Town partly cloudy, 15 with a high of 20. Worcester 12, 26 for today. Sutherland 10 reaching a high of 23. And sunny conditions in Uppington, a low of 16 and a high of 34 degrees Celsius. Well, that's where we leave your weather on your Feel Good Breakfast show. If you have a sunrise photo that you'd love to share with us, please do so on the Expresso Facebook page. While we do continue to share Family Day on your Feel Good Breakfast show.
Thanks for staying with your Feel Good Breakfast show, Expresso. More Feel Good coming your way. It's Family Day today, and what better time to have a gap filler than with your favorite super app. Right now, it's time to get another winner in our hashtag All You Need Is M Mystery M Conundrum game. Today's game is themed around malls.
And today's prize up for grabs, it's a 2,000 Rand shopping voucher. And joining us via video call this morning, we have our first contestant, number 1, Lillian Miller in the building. Welcome to the show, Lillian. How are you doing?
Hello, I'm doing fine, thank you.
Can you tell us a bit about yourself? How did you enter the hashtag All You Need Is M competition?
I bought the milkshake and sent in an SMS.
Fantastic. Simple as that. But you've got to tell me, Lillian, what's your favorite Super M flavor? Because, I mean, the strawberry one is my favorite one. What's your favorite?
Chocolate.
You're my
The chocolate one.
You're my girl. You're my
Chocolate
girl.
is a kryptonite for everybody. All right, and ladies and gentlemen, contestant number 2 has just entered the room. His name is Bruce Bilson. Bruce, good morning, my brother. How are you doing?
Can yourself?
Magic man, welcome to the studio. I've got to ask you before we get into it, some of your favorite hobbies. What are they, my friend?
Gym and fishing when I get the chance.
All the good stuff in life. I like that.
Well, you and Ra have a lot in common.
When you got the time, yeah.
I have to find out from you, Bruce, what is your favorite flavor?
It has to be chocolate as well.
All right, well,
Perfect.
Bruce, Lillian, the time is arrived. It's time to get into it, and this is how the game works. So, a Mystery M conundrum will come up on screen in which both of you will have 30 seconds. 30 seconds, that's all you have to guess the word. Now, if you think you know the answer, you got to shout out your name and then obviously give us the answer. But if the contestant who said their name first guessed it wrong, then the other contestant will have a chance to answer.
Another contestant with the most points wins. It's that simple. 2,000 Rand goes to you. Shopping voucher. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so what is the correct word for this item? Here's a clue for you guys. It's a shortened version of a dress, and it's on the screen.
Lillian.
What is it? Lillian,
Lillian.
yes. What's the answer?
Mini skirt.
Yes!
A
Lillian, you got it
miniskirt.
correct. That's 1
correct.
point for Lillian in the lead. The score is 1-0. Bruce, you got to step it up, my man. Your question is coming up now. So what is the correct word for the following conundrum? And your clue, this is the term used for getting your nails done. Clock's on. Clock's on.
Lillian.
Bruce said her name first.
I heard
Did you hear
Bruce.
Bruce? All right,
Yeah.
Bruce, what's the answer?
Manicure.
Hey!
Correct.
Congratulations.
Correct. All right, it's a tie at the moment. Let's see how this game is going to go up to this point. One on either side. What is the correct name for this conundrum clue? We often go to the mall to buy these for entertainment purposes and to see stories come to life.
Lillian.
That was tight, Tabs. That was tight.
Lillian, I'm hearing the director saying it's Lillian.
She shouted louder.
Yes. Lillian, what is the answer?
Movie tickets.
Correct.
Lillian,
Correct. You're on the money. Oh, here's another one. Here's another one. Give it to them, Rob.
All right, so here we go. Your clue is you go to the mall to purchase it from pharmacies. Tick tock, tick tock.
Lillian.
Bruce.
Ooh,
Lillian on
sneaking
the
ahead.
money.
Lillian, what is the answer?
Medicine.
Yes, correct.
Correct, Lillian. All right, so here's another clue. You will find a place at the mall to exchange or receive it from different countries.
This is a tough one.
Lillian.
Oh, Lillian, my darling.
Fast.
What's the answer, Lillian?
Money.
Correct. Correct. And do you know what? You are a girl on the money, 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 money. Congratulations, Lillian, for winning that awesome prize. Bruce, you were fantastic. But
Thank
a huge
you.
round of applause for Lillian, everybody. Oh, yes, oh, yes. Ah, Bruce, man, you played so well. And, you know, I think that you knew all of the answers. You just didn't answer as quickly as Lillian did. But well done for taking part, all right?
Cool, thanks.
Thank you. Bye, Bruce.
Just
That's a
Lillian
gracious
full
winner.
of confidence, of course. And again, like we said, hard luck. But winning is so easy, and is as easy as that. And all you got to do is join us here with Super M, and we could be calling you to take part in our Mystery M Conundrum.
Now remember, there are many more M prizes to be won, like Moolah, mobile phones, movie vouchers, and much more. With the Super M, all you need is M competition.
Yeah, now all you got to do is simply purchase the Super M promo pack with the M prize you want to win, and then enter by dialing *120*7837#, and then the M that you pick is the M prize you could win, and the more you enter, the more your chances are of winning. So go on and find your M with Super M, because all you need is...
I might just grab yours to fill this
you need
gap.
my M as well.
Wow.
Stand a chance to win moolah, mobile phones and many more M prizes with Super M. Pick your M prize on your favorite Super M pack. Dial *120 *7837 hash and follow the prompts. The M you pick is the M you could win. All you need is M. Super M Gap Filler.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for joining us. It really has been a lovely show today and so cool to spend it in your company, the company of family, because you are our extended family. Now, on that note, since 1995, here in South Africa, the Monday after Easter is observed with a public holiday called Family Day. And it was established by the government to give people the opportunity to spend more quality time with their families by having a meal and going on holiday. And of course, we know that that in 2021, this is a little bit different.
Yeah.
Life has changed just a little bit.
It has. So today we are asking the question, do you feel closely bonded with your family? Well, we have clinical psychologist Asha Dula back with us in studio to help us really unpack and discuss this. And, you know, we're also taking your questions and comments via our Facebook page,
Please,
but it's all about family today. Asha, so good to have you here on a Monday.
Good morning.
Asha, maybe let's prove your qualifications in this space, okay? Not in terms of what you've studied and how amazing you are as a psychologist and your intellectual birth, none of that. Let's talk about your own family. Do you come from a tight family? Do you come from a big family? What has your family experience been like?
Well, I've come from a big family. It's extended. It's been quite mixed. There's been joys and pains in the family. And I think that is what family is all about. It's embracing both the good experiences and the challenging experiences, because those challenges actually bring us life lessons. Completely. And for me, I've realized that family teaches us the most valuable life lessons.
Well, I was about to ask you that. I mean, you said some great life lessons. How important is your family structure and dynamic going forward into your adult life? Like, what role does it play having that relationship or that bond with your family, and how does it manifest?
That writes the script for the rest of your life, yeah.
Absolutely. It's the blueprint that really sets the stage for future relationships with other in society, with your relationship, your marriage, your kids. Because, you know, we grow up, we come into a family, and It's our space where we spend most of our time. We grow up in our formative years. And when we look at family, it's not just family by blood. It's also family that's maybe by adoption, close family friends that can be seen as family, our neighbors, teachers, those all incorporate families. That's why so often we hear the phrase, you know, you are a brother or sister from another mother. So we need to think about family as all the influences that we've had in our formative years that have played a role. And definitely it rubber bands right into all our adulthood and generational as well.
That's been the great joy now, is watching how dynamics have changed since my children being the first of that new generation within the family, how that's brought two families together, how it's rewriting that blueprint, as you say. And I often think about what it's going to mean to them moving forward. How, are they going to be different? How is it going to impact them? But I think it's brought us all closer together, and I'm starting to really understand, especially after this last year, how important having a close familial bond is. What are some of the benefits for having that close family connection?
Well, you know, if we have a close bond, it really gives us that sense of belonging, that sense of connection, that sense of autonomy. You know, when there's times of challenges, there's family that we can rely on for support, for encouragement, for affection. It also just extends to the good relationships. I mean, if there's one thing that makes every human being happy, it's to have a good family.
Yeah.
And we can really treasure the experience of a good family if we really have that.
And that is something that I realize as you connect with more and more people, that's not a given. Not everyone has that. Well, Asher Dulab's not going anywhere. We are continuing our conversation around family on this Family Day here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
So good, chatting to the specialist Asher Dulab in the building, and she will be carrying on that conversation in just a bit. But before we tuck into it, I think this is something interesting that's happening, and I'm sure a lot of the viewers out there would have noticed this too. SABC3 is going through a few little changes now. It's quite an interesting one. There's a whole new brand identity coming through, and there's a whole new opportunity for you guys, and it's SABC3's Open Up, Jamie, and I think it's so special, so exciting, and so good for a chance to change, eh?
Definitely in with the new. Of course, Uncle Tab's event actually went to the event in Johannesburg just to touch down with the team and see all about the brand new launch. So take a look at this.
We've all come to anticipate that around this time of the year, in April, South Africa goes through some changes in television and radio. But tonight, something big is being announced, because something big is on the horizon for SABC3. They've reimagined their entire identity, their audience, as well as what they've got to offer you at home. And I'm out in Sandton tonight to find out what all of that is about. I know one thing, it's big. Pat, it has finally happened, a brand new identity for SABC3. Some big changes that you've announced tonight, and we're also excited to connect with it. But why was it so important and so necessary for SABC3, now S3, to go through all of this?
I think that SABC3 has been a good historic brand in the market, but I think it was losing audiences. And I think when we went out to research, customers were saying, you know, what is S3? What is its character? Who's its target market? And so what we wanted to do was to make sure that we kept all those loyal supporters, but at the same time that we galvanized a new look and programming in order for us to get new audiences. Then what can we offer that brings audiences back, that creates a place for citizens to watch something together?
Well, Pat, the new identity for SABC3, now S3, is with the message Open Up. Why Open Up? What does Open Up mean, and how will viewers connect with this?
So Open Up, we have, for example, we have a sitcom about a polyamorous relationship. It's Canadian-American. That's going to be very interesting. That's in our more risque slot at 10 o'clock. But anyway, it's not only about risque. It's about really opening up the conversation about different kinds of relationships, different kinds of sexuality. Open up to difference outside of the boundaries and the confinements that we give ourselves.
We've been providing you information on some schedule changes at SABC3, now S3, but the team there have also been very much hard at work, making sure that they provide and package some world-class entertainment to bring to your TV screens. Dichava, the new message for SABC3, now S3, Open Up, has finally been launched. So much excitement around it. You spent a lot of time working on this, but why was it so necessary?
We've been very intentional in terms of creating a channel that has a deeper meaning and a purpose. I think where the world is today, so much fake news, so much bullying, so much corruption, and I think humanity just needs a story of hope. Right? And what in television and broadcasting, largely what we do is we inspire. So we wanted to create a channel that celebrates us as South Africans and that inspires us to be greater than who we are. And we wanted this notion of being open to new ways of thinking, new ways of solving problems, new ways of loving. We just wanted to create that positioning that inspires us to be greater as humans, as South Africans.
Zenokuhle, you might be a brand new face on SABC3, but I think there's so much excitement that you're stepping into as Cindy on the estate. How do you think people are going to connect with Cindy's character?
She's a 2000, if I might use that term. She's a 2000, so I really hope people are going to relate to her. How they're going to relate to her exactly is she's very outspoken. First and foremost, she doesn't even know herself. So she's going in the direction of what her dad wants her to be. So I think everyone is going to find themselves, and everyone is going to find it very exciting because they're going to see themselves in the new branding of SABC3. Well, S3 now.
Mek Clementine Musimani, one of my personal favorites, but without a doubt, a favorite for everybody watching at home right now. You play the role of Memo Kobani on The Estate. What excites you the most about this TV series, The Estate?
You know what I'm most excited about The Estate is that it is so different that everybody who will be sitting at home, sitting back, watching it, every one of them will be having a character or a storyline that they are going to be identifying with. And what I'm excited about is because it is moving with the current situations that are happening in the country. And I think people are ready for that. They want to see stories that are so close to home that are telling the truth.
We want to make reference to the global climate crisis. We want to make people more socially responsible. So I just want to see how people will take to the branding, because it's quite a drastic shift, but I think it's in the right direction. I think now we're moving to a place where channels and broadcasters and people that were traditionally seen as being strict are now loosening up and becoming edgy.
I cannot put into words the amount of honor, the privilege that comes with being a host on a night like tonight. We are brand new, out the box, rebirthing SABC3, or I should say S3, you know. And of course, we are also introducing the new mantra of open up. We're just opening up to a lot more. So being able to stand in front of everyone, present, and do what I love doing the most, I think it was such a privilege.
I think how viewers are going to receive the new S3, open up. They're going to be opening up with it. They're going to be loving the new idea, the new innovations, the new everything, the new look, the new future, the new way of living, the new way of accepting things and moving with the times.
It's a new dawn, it's a new day for S3, and it feels so good. You're gonna wanna make sure that you keep your eyes tight and glued to S3 and watch all of this magic unfold.
It's coming bigger and better to you. Open up with S3. You've relaunched. I love it. I love the energy.
Yeah.
I love that. We get to connect with you still, because that is the main focus, being able to connect with you, our family. So open up with S3 right now on SABC3.
Yeah,
right?
I'm here for it. Can't wait. And let the magic continue. We'll see you after this.
Oral Medic. Alleviates mouth ulcer pain in seconds.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You're still tuned into your Feel Good Breakfast Show, and thank you for choosing it on this family day. Now, it is Monday, and usually we talk all kinds of relationships, but today we want to ask you the question, do you feel closely bonded with your family? We are back with clinical psychologist Asha Dulab to unpack this topic. So to weigh in with your questions and comments, please head on over to the Expresso Facebook page. This is a very dynamic topic.
Oh, yes.
Because every family is dynamic.
Oh, yes.
And dysfunctional. Let's be honest. Come on, own it, people. Own it, okay? Families are crazy.
It's meant to be.
But I'm so unbelievably proud of my family because when times are tough, we rally. You know, that's the thing that it just, I'm blown away. And especially now that I've got kids, my family have just like, they've embraced that. It wasn't always like that for me and my sis. There was a time where we were, I won't say we were rivals, but we were distant because we were just living two completely different existences. Now she is hands down my best friend. Like there's no one else that I can talk to in the way that I can talk to her, and she also understands me, so she knows. But so many families have the issue of sibling rivalry, maybe family members they're born close together, maybe there's personality clashes. Why do we have sibling rivalry? Why is it such an archetypal storyline in movies and books in life?
Okay, so the way you've described it, where you and your sister is close and you rally up together, that is the way it's supposed to be. We come into this world as little infants, all from the place of peace. And yet, I mean, that's a seed of peace and harmony, but sometimes it can also manifest as a seed of harshness and violence towards each other and rivalry. And the reason being is that I think that there's a lot of factors such as comparison, competition, jealousy, judgment, you know, that comes into play. Just the favorite, you know, sometimes the kids, the siblings would be able to say, oh, no, this is the favorite child, I'm not. And if you think about the word brother and sister,
Definitely not.
it comes with such an emotional response, the word brother or sister.
Yeah, for sure.
And we should really be nurturing that. Why does it happen? I wish I knew all the answers to it, but it's because I think that, you know, we want people to behave in a way that makes us feel comfortable. And we need to acknowledge our brothers and sisters in their strengths. We are all unique in our families. I mean, every family, if you have 2 or 3 children, they are completely unique. And let's acknowledge each one's uniqueness and strength in the family, rather than looking at what do you owe me as a brother or a sister, or what is your responsibility. I think that our conditioning and our mindset all comes into play of how things should be.
And I suppose you can't choose. You're thrust into that family together, and you just got to deal with it, you know?
But it always boggles my mind because the whole time you were talking now about children and siblings, I'm picturing little people, but growing up, you still have your siblings. And it boggles my mind when, especially family dynamics, there's always these grudges. And I'm like, you know, time is so precious. We're in a pandemic and people still have these grudges. Where, from a parent's perspective, especially at those younger years, when should they step in when they realize, hang on, our kids actually don't have the bond that's necessary to see them through their adulthood?
It definitely starts at the formative years. I mean, when parents can model what good communication is all about, respecting each other, loving each other unconditionally, supporting each other. Families are there to support each other. And it has to happen at the formative years in order for it to rubber band into the adult years. And so often with marriages already that come with a lot of challenges, that actually has a rippling effect when the children comes into the family as well. So it also starts with the unit of the marriage before the children come in. And good communication, EQ is very important. You know, everyone having to look at themselves in families and say, what is it that I can learn? What role am I playing? What are my expectations in the family? Because expectations is the biggest cause of disappointments in families. You know, we expect our family members to be in a certain way to meet our needs. And of course, you know, let everyone be free in their decisions. And and respect people's decisions.
Yeah.
I want you to think about when we need to draw a line. Maybe there's an opportunity here to look at it from a different side, to say that maybe we need to change or limit the amount of time and the impact of certain family members or family traditions. Maybe that struck a chord with you, but we're going to continue this discussion with Asha in just a moment.
Well, South Africa is still commemorating Family Day today, and it also happens to be the premiere date for S3's brand new telenova, The Estate, which is centered around 5 families who are tied together through secret and lies and drama, and it sounds just like we need what we need.
So much deception. There's been so much hype around this, especially last week. Everybody in Mzansi is frothing for this. So we got Tabiso to recently go on the set to connect with the cast and crew ahead of tonight's debut, and he chatted to actress Nambita Ben Mazwi, who you might be familiar with and is a familiar face to the loyal S3 viewers and a former presenter. Search on 3 top 10 finalists. Well, let's check out what Tabiso's got with the latest on The Estate.
Thanks for staying with your Feel Good Breakfast show, Expresso, here on SABC3, helping you escape the norm this morning because we're coming to you from the set of a new hit series to hit your TV screens here on SABC3. It's called The Estate. And joining me is someone who many people first saw internationally when she was on the screens over here, over there, and everywhere, featured as a collaborator on Beyonce's Black is King. And of course, this time around, bringing all of the magic locally here at home. Oh, yes, as Gigi on The Estate.
Yes.
Lady Nambita Ben Mazwi. So good to see you.
Listen, can you just hype me up everywhere I go?
I think I need to
Can
be
you do my intro?
Your praise singer.
Yes.
Masala go like in costume. Oh, ina.
Now I'm going to get it.
Naga like Black is King. Wafika ngoku elokali. Naku estate.
Yes.
Ikama lakhe Georgina.
Otherwise known as?
Georgina.
Gigi, come on. Gigi.
Okay, so let's talk about this incredible role. And I'm hearing your directors already yelling remarks and directions there. This
Quiet
is a fantastic thing. How does it feel for you moving from very fresh off an international show that really did so well and sharing this magic that won a Grammy and bringing that magic here and flexing locally?
Geez, sure. It's actually absolutely amazing to be back on the local screen. That, for me, is the most important. You know, I've been so incredibly blessed right now, currently on 3 hit shows. So there was a moment where, you know, a lot of people on social media are like, where have you been? And of course, you can't forget the local audience. So I'm so ecstatic to be back on the small screen.
Well, this is incredible. And here you are now on SABC3, helping us all escape the norm on The Estate. How's this experience coming along for you?
Well, first of all, I am Gigi as we speak. So this is the taste that you guys are going to have. I'm in full costume. I am in character fully now. The hair, the shoes, the makeup, the dress. So you've really took me at work while I'm in character. So this is a bit of Gigi and Lady Nam amalgamated. Yeah, but
are there any similarities between the 2 characters?
Oh, no. There are a few similarities. Georgina, there's a lot more similarities, but you guys will have to watch because there's Gigi, there's Georgina, and that's the clear juxtapose. I'm basically a plot twist. I'm constantly a plot twist. Every single time I enter screen, you're going to be sitting at the edge of your screens, you're going to be like, what is she going to do now? You know? So that's what I'm bringing.
I'm literally on my toes right now as you explain all of this because I'm ready to take it all in. But this is an incredible show because it's a first of its kind on our TV screens, and it's been a long time since we had a TV show or a TV series like this on SABC3. What do you think it's going to bring to the landscape?
Oh my gosh. You know what I love about The Estate is that it's bringing relevant conversation starters. We're talking about topics that are quite serious. We're talking about land issue, land reform. It's also a juxtapose of 2 worlds. It's pretty much like your Santon and Alex, which are so near each other, but the poverty line is huge, the inequality is huge, and it's going to tackle real issues, and we're going to start having these conversations ourselves. Of course, there's the entertainment value, and we're telling stories, we're telling people stories, and it's so well represented. That's the most exciting part. You have a Afrikaans family, you have a Xhosa family, you have a Zulu family, you have every single culture represented represented. So for me, every single person will get to see themselves.
Yeah.
They'll get to see their own families and cultures, and that I think is missing right now. We have authentically Zulu shows at times, or Sotho ones, but to have every single South African see themselves in a television telenovela is going to be a first of its kind. It hasn't been done in a while.
It's a huge take, right? It's a huge sort of take on or responsibility to be able to carry narratives like that and bring them across in the most amazing way, in the most bold ways.
And the most glamorous way. I mean, look at
glamorous
this.
ways too. I mean, look at that. You don't even have to twirl at any angle we're getting it all.
But I want to.
But you can twirl.
Okay.
Do your thing.
Okay.
And as you twirl, maybe tell me and let me in on, you know, what it takes for you to prepare and get into, I suppose, the hybrid that is Gigi and Georgina. It must take a lot. How do you sink your teeth into the character?
Sure. You know what? It's you asking me the most prevalent question right now at such a crux point in my life, because I'm juggling 2 different productions. And, you know, I'm shooting every single day, and the 2 characters are so vastly different. And then there's me. You know, I still need to find myself. So I'm currently being 3 people in the space of 24 hours.
Who am I speaking to now?
Listen, I'm even asking myself that. So my process, you know, I'm someone who really takes on my characters. I become. You know, I'm a method actor. I really go deep in, and sometimes, you know, I need to tap out, and I have to find new coping mechanisms, you know, to center myself and ground myself back again. So, you know, my faith is number 1. You know, I literally will put on praise and worship as I go home, and that kind of just centers me back to who I am and my identity. Talking to family, of course, is also just a way to, you know, because they're going to be like, okay, girl, snap out of it. You know, they'll call you by that nickname that you grew up with. So that's it. So the process for me is, you know, I wake up very early in the morning, I meditate, I do yoga, I train, and then I really get into the script. And by the time I then get into the makeup chair and start the process, that's me slowly becoming Gigi. The makeup, the hair, yes. So that helps me, and now I'm Gigi-fied.
Well, we've watched this morning, and I have really been in such complete awe watching how the pieces of this machine come together. What's the one thing you've really enjoyed about working on this production of The Estate, with the cast that you work with the crew that you're working with, and of course the team at SABC3?
First and foremost, it's so good to be back on SABC3. I haven't done any SABC3 actual productions in a while. It was always presenting. So for me, it feels so good to be part of that family again. It's exciting also dealing with client and how innovative the PR is and marketing is. So that's also just like, you know, and having that support from client as well. There's no way I'm not going to mention the cast. I'm working with my friends, you know, so it's a jam. Yes, it's a jam. And it's an award-winning cast. You know, a lot of them I've worked with in previous shows. So it's just, it feels like a family. Everyone is just so loving. Everyone just wants to make the show a success. There's no egos. It's just, we're all committed to making the scene great. We have true thespians working on it. So that's always so refreshing, you know, and that's the most part that I love about it.
Well, the thing is, we're all going to connect with this story and all of these characters in whatever way that's going to be coming through, and you're going to want to make sure that you're a part of it at 7 p.m. on the 5th of April here on SABC3. It's The Estate. It will premiere, and you're going to see the dynamo and the dynamic nature of these characters, Gigi, Georgina, or Lady Nam, coming together and really exploding on your TV screen. Connect with us on our social media. #Expresso Show. Let us know what you think and what you're most looking forward to seeing. You're amazing. Go act.
Thank you.
I'll catch you later.
Let me go, hey?
Go act,
because
go act.
it's getting hectic.
It's hard not to want to follow. I want to see more.
To those that know me, know that family is everything to me. My father said a man's land is his kingdom.
You are not going to buy our souls with your jobs and your money. But if it wasn't for my taxi money, you wouldn't have had that estate.
Well, at least we know that our ancestors both loved money. You have a good marriage. Don't mess it up, brother.
Hey, chocolate. Well, I mean, who doesn't want to live at Echelon Estate?
Introducing a new daily drama with an award-winning cast.
To the dream.
To the dream.
The Estate starts Monday, the 5th of April at 7 on 3.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Welcome back. You're live with Expresso on Family Day. So vital that we talk about family in our relationship chat with Asha. And we are asking you the important questions. Do you feel closely bonded with your family? Do you feel estranged? We are back with our clinical psychologist and good friend Asha Dulab to talk about this topic on Family Day. Important topic any day, but today we are focused on those familial bonds. I asked you before the break to think about something regarding family. Yes, we want to keep those bonds close. If there's sibling rivalry, we want to make sure that that doesn't become an estranged relationship. When do we need to draw a boundary line? I'm sure there are a lot of partners going, I could do with a little less mom-in-law, dad-in-law. When do we need to draw a healthy line in the sand?
Well, I think that when we start feeling that energetically there's no blend between the family, you know, the member, there's times where you try and you communicate and try and make things, you know, to bring back the energy of the childlike curiosity, innocence, but when it doesn't feel right, and it makes you feel uncomfortable in your family member's space, perhaps it's a good thing to step aside a bit and allow for growth to happen for yourself and for the other family member, because families are always changing. I mean, just like you described earlier on, at one point your sister and you were not connecting, and at a later point all of a sudden she's your best friend, because we're all going through our own stuff at different stages in our life, and perhaps at a different stage you may reconnect with your family. But I think the most important thing is try and please yourself, because the minute you are trying to please everyone else, especially family members, you are pleasing no one.
Yeah.
So focus on yourself, make decisions that allow you to be free in your life. And sometimes that would mean to distance yourself from family if it doesn't feel comfortable. If it's causing you more pain and sorrow and despair, why not take a back step?
And it's not about shutting them out, it's just taking a step back.
Yeah. Well, I was about to say, I know you asked when do we draw the boundary, but now how do we implement it without offending them, or should you not worry about that?
I think that I think family members will feel offended, because when we are at that point where we are having to create the distance, it's already uncomfortable. And both family members already have a sense that there's this discomfort. So I think that it's unlikely that there'll be a conversation about the distancing. It kind of happens naturally. And I think the coming together also comes together at the right time. Just allow the space for growth and change.
Let's talk, because I would imagine this weekend a lot of family traditions have been picked up. When you pass the baton, when you have new family members, new children coming into the mix, new generations coming in, you know, how important is it for us to continue those family traditions? How do you know if something is right for your kids? You know, when is a tradition more a toxic thing? How do you kind of continue? Because I want that for my children as well. I want them to feel the same kind of family tradition and pass those on. And I love learning new family traditions from my fiance, and you know, love that continuation. But how do we manage that and know what's right and what's wrong?
Perhaps maybe taking the words out, right and wrong and good or bad, because I think those are the things that causes families to have conflict.
Judgment, yeah.
It's judgment. So perhaps just taking what feels right for you in your family that you grew up with, because we want to pull through those traditions that feel great, and that heritage and that intergenerational love and traditions. But at the same time, you want to also ask yourself, how can I do things differently in my family now? Things that I struggled with in the past in my nuclear family, what can I implement now that can make this family more unique, that fits with me? Because we all feel challenged by the disciplines, the rules and the requirements that our families impose on us through their perceptions of their life, and we want to break free from that. So ultimately we want to feel free as human beings.
We do, definitely.
Love my family more. I feel more complex in the way that we live. Families are an amazing thing. They're a resource, but you also need to know how to draw the lines and govern yourself more than anything else in that family relationship. So take a good hard look at yourself, and also just take a moment to love and appreciate the family around you, because it is Family Day.
what says Family Day than something sweet? Well, we are making a lemon meringue pie, and it is one of my favorite sweet treats. But Nicole is introducing us to her genius version. Listen to this, a chocolate meringue pie, cleverly using those leftover Easter eggs. And this is something the whole family will love. Nicole, so good to have you with us this morning.
Well, you say leftover Easter eggs like it's going to be a thing. I don't
and also
know.
like there is leftover Easter eggs. You know what? I had to mentally prepare myself to say meringue now 3 times because I have this thing. Ever since I watched Mark Lotting do the meringue, I keep wanting to say lemon meringue or chocolate meringue, but it's a meringue, everybody.
It's a meringue. Yeah, she's been trying so hard to not say meringue. Well done, Jamie. So yes, like you mentioned, you know the classic lemon meringue. We are doing a chocolate version because Easter eggs, we know lots of chocolate is going to be around. Why not do this? So I've got a little bit of our mama bake into a pot where you're going to melt the chocolate. Trick is don't put your chocolate in first because chocolate burns so quickly. You need a fat or a cream. That's how you make ganache, but we're using a margarine. So it melts super, super quickly. Jamie, for me, we're going to get you to work a little bit on a Monday.
I knew it was coming.
It's all there for you.
Okay.
So we've got some crushed up biscuits there. We're using digestives with chocolate. I mean, like we don't have enough chocolate. We're going to
layers of chocolate. It is perfect for this Monday.
Exactly. So you're going to take some melted mama bake and you're going to pour it into your biscuits. So just chuck it in here.
Okay.
And just mix it all through. So you kind of just wanted to coat your biscuits so that when it sets, it holds together.
Okay.
And I'm just melting this chocolate away because I'm going to be making the base of our meringue, which is super, super simple. This is you're doing actually the hardest job.
Am I doing all the work? That's fine. It's absolutely fine.
Cool. So what I'm going to get going, I've got a little bit of chocolate here, Jamie, as you can see. It's beautifully melted.
And smooth.
I'm going to add a little bit of vanilla essence just because a little bit of flavor. You've got chocolate, vanilla, you're going to have marshmallows, your meringue. It's going to be absolutely delicious. So what I've done here is I've got 4 eggs that I've just like roughly beat up with some pasta
not Easter eggs.
Not Easter eggs. I've got a real eggs in here. We're doing all the kind of eggs in this recipe. So what you're going to do is you're going to pour your, I would say, your melted chocolate in here. And we want to fold it gently just to incorporate all the chocolate. So this is going to be your base of your meringue because obviously the eggs are going to set. How's it going there, Jamie?
It's going good. I'm just waiting for you to give me the go-ahead.
You can go ahead. Once you've mixed up there, you're going to pour it into your base. And I've got a little glass there next to you, Jamie.
What is the glass for? Because I thought it was to pour me something while I'm baking so that I don't flop your recipe.
No. So what it is you use the back of a glass. So what you're doing there, you're not going to get an even surface. So you use the glass and you press it down because it's nice and flat at the bottom.
Oh,
and yeah. Life hack.
Life hack. Nicole coming through with all of the things that we need.
Yeah, so now you spread it out evenly and you're guaranteed to get an even base. See how quick and simple?
My life has changed, everybody. Hope your life has changed too.
So this is where the marshmallow Easter eggs, I mean, we've got marshmallow Easter eggs left. You can use a little bit of your speckled eggs. You can use the white hen eggs. You can use pretty much whatever you have left over, if you have any. But we're going to put this in.
Nothing left in mine. My mom ate everything yesterday, so which is good for me because now it just means that I can detox from all the sugar that I had this weekend. But
exactly. So this is your base. So if you don't mind passing me the biscuit over there,
certainly.
I'm going to pour it in. So while I'm doing this, I need you to whip up the meringue.
The meringue.
The meringue. So I've pre-whipped it a little bit so it doesn't go too long. So we've got a little bit of caster sugar. Jamie, you're going to get not all of it, little bits at a time. Because what happens if you put all of it in, it becomes heavy and you're not going to be able to hold it over your head like you want.
Because that is the goal. I remember last year during our lockdown series and we used to do the Facebook Live, you were teaching us how to do the meringue. So now I feel like there's so much pressure on me to create a perfect meringue because you taught us this a year ago. So I should have been a whole year ago. So I threw a little in and then what's going to happen now?
So you're going to take your beater and you're going to switch it on.
Yeah. Like this?
Yes. Go. There we go. So now you're going to incorporate your sugar slowly while you're doing that.
Okay.
Yes. So that's where you can not make it too heavy.
Too heavy. Got it. Okay, so a bit more going in.
Nice.
Got a bit of a heavy hand over there.
That's fine, as long as not everything in at once. That is the trick. So you've got a beautiful stiff peak forming there. That's what you want. You're going to carry on adding. Now you can add all the sugar.
So all of it going in.
You've got a pinch of salt over there, Jamie.
Some salt.
Yeah. You can add a pinch of cream of tartar as well if you're a bit scared of your meringue flopping. It will be like kind of flop proof, but if you get to stiff peak, it should be 100%.
Do I move it around or do I just...
No, this is perfect. You keep going. So if you turn it off, Jamie, and you lift, there we go. So what you do is you take your whisk and you lift it up to see it's almost at stiff peak, but it will be fine for our meringue. So
this is perfect.
This is perfect. Okay. Perfect.
I'm not putting this over my head. Just in case you were wondering, I'm not going to put it over my head.
Maybe next time.
Next time.
So we've got a bit of cocoa there. So you're going to take your spatula, I'll use this chocolate spatula, and you're going to almost marble the cocoa in. Do you want it to be not completely chocolate? You can have little bits of chocolate specks in there. So take your cocoa.
Yes.
Sprinkle. Use this one, Jamie. You've got all
that. So just sprinkle it on.
Sprinkle it over, and now you fold it in gently. Yeah. So you can see you're getting little bits of like marbled chocolate. Yeah.
It looks like a nice little marshmallow that it just. I could eat this as
just like that. So kind of want to lift it up in the center.
Okay.
There we go. So this will go into the oven for about 15 to 20 minutes till your egg is set. So we've got a runny egg over here. Once it's set, we're going to add the meringue, which we can do that. We can pop the meringue on top. Bake it in the oven till your meringue is beautifully golden brown.
Like this?
Go for it. Now you're going to see all that beautiful marbling. You want to kind of keep a small gap because meringue expands in the oven. And when you're done, we've decorated it with a bit of more extra Easter eggs and serve it up. And that's it. It's as easy as that. You're doing amazingly.
Now you know what to do with that rest of that Easter eggs. Nicole, thank you so much. Again, I'm not putting this over my head, but this is your chocolate meringue pie. And of course, you can get all of your hands on this recipe, expressoshow.com. But right now, it's time for an amazing performance.
Ladies, it looks delicious, and now something that will not only water the belly, but it's also going to water your ears right now. We've got the man, the myth, the legend himself, and our poll-winning song this morning was Let Your Living Water Flow, and it was by Jimmy Swaggart Ministries. Now, the singer and songwriter that we've had in studio this morning, Esihle Siwela, is standing by to perform his rendition of the popular praise and worship song, Let Your Living Water Flow. Now, it speaks of asking the Holy Spirit to take control over your life and draw near to you with love. And here with that incredible performance, let's take it away. Thank you.
Situation that has troubled my mind, all my cares and burdens unto you, arrows them God. Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Let it flow all over my soul, God. Oh, just let it flow all over my heart, Lord. Let your living waters flow over my soul. And let your Holy Spirit come and take control. And every situation that has troubled my mind, all my cares and burdens unto you. I rose the God. Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Savior, you are Lord. Savior, oh Savior, Savior, Savior of the universe, Savior of the universe.
Make the most of glorious summer with your picnic favorites. Made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.
With me, let your living waters flow over my soul, God, and let your Holy Spirit be found in me.